has been a wild ride this past year, plus, to say the least. But we're back in business, back together, and back to talk about the grandest stage of them all with people. It's once again that time of the year. We're going 2 nights, WrestleMania. And boy, is there a lot to talk about. So welcome everybody to the ATW VIEW, episode 3, the WrestleMania Prelude. I am, of course, with the ATW crew. We are ATW, here to bring you our outlook, discussions, rants, banters, and overall outlooks on all things wrestling. This primary discussion will be focused strictly on WrestleMania as we give you our outlooks towards all the matches, their stories, potential surprises that might happen before or after, maybe in between, and also the outlook. With that being said, I introduced enough. Let's get this party started. First off, let me introduce you to the king of ATW, my brother, Too Sweet for Life. He is the King A-Train. King A-Train, I'm going to start with you on this match. We don't know necessarily this is going to open the show, but is this the end of an almighty era? As the almighty WWE champion, Bobby Lashley, defends the WWE championship against Drew McIntyre. Give me your thoughts and outlooks towards this match.
First off, it's good to see everybody. It's good to be back with the family once again. Second of all, before I get into this discussion, RIP DMX, one of my favorite rappers of all time. Now, on the discussion. This is not the end of the almighty era. Drew had his moment here. What WWE needs to do is move forward with this Bobby Lashley reign and see where it goes. Because, don't get me wrong, Drew McIntyre had the best run underneath the pandemic. He carried Raw, in my opinion, all of last year as WWE champion. But it's time to move on from it. Yes, he had his moment last year, and I know they're probably implementing that they might do that again tomorrow night. I'm not in that same discussion. I think it's time that we move on from this and we give that win to Bobby, and possibly, and this is just me throwing it out there, far-fetched, if Brock wants to come back, let's have Brock and Bobby SummerSlam. Oh.
Interesting outlook. With that being said, let's move on with another fellow member of the ATW crew. I call him the Preacher. He's got a good heart, but he knows how to tell you like it is too. Casey Flynn, good to see you again. We lit our merge of WrestleMania. King gave an interesting outlook towards maybe the future of the WWE Championship. What is your rebuttal towards that? Do you see Drew McIntyre again the moment he was denied last year in front of the people? Or do you see Bobby Lashley's era continuing?
All right. Where I would go with this one is I think Bobby Lashley should continue his almighty reign, and they should continue to build him up as the monster heel as he is, because Drew McIntyre, like King said, had his moment last year in the pandemic era. I can take nothing away from Drew McIntyre, but he was a phenomenal champ in the pandemic era, and I think Bobby Lashley should get offered his chance at Mania to carry Monday Night Raw as WWE champion going forward. But I would never count out Drew McIntyre, because all it takes is one Claymore. And if he hits that one Claymore at the Bobby Lashley, it could be ball game, new champ. So I would take nothing away from Drew McIntyre on that one.
All right, fair enough. Moving forward with the ATW crew, I like to call him the inquirer, the investigator, the inquisitive one with an open mind and wondering, when did common sense become a thing that more so is searched for rather than found? Please welcome, of course, my good friend, representing Nearby Entertainment and his other channels across, you can find on the link tree, Eric Brown. Eric, you are looking at the WWE Championship. You know the Hurt Business is done, but Bobby Lashley wants to be recreated. Does that come into play maybe at WrestleMania? First to resolve this match. Give me your thoughts on the outlook of this championship match.
So, yeah, there is baggage because they disbanded the Hurt Business to build Drew McIntyre up because, you know, we can't have Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business be faces. That would require effort. No. But here's the thing. Since it's now been confirmed by WWE's Twitter account that they will open the show, I actually thought it was going to go this way. It was going to go with Drew McIntyre getting the belt back as if he was the main event. Now I'm thinking it might be worse because now, and if I'm right about this, I apologize for predicting this, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bobby Lashley retains via disqualification from a returning Beast Incarnate.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Well, WrestleMania is the stage about moments.
major.
Just thought about that.
WrestleMania
That
is
is
the
major.
stage about moments, and we know one of the ultimate goals and reason for Lashley's return was, and I quote, he wants to face Brock Lesnar one-on-one, a match that has yet to happen, believe it or not, against two of the most powerful juggernauts in WWE history. With that,
Yeah, but there's just a problem here. Where does that leave Drew McIntyre? He could probably be involved in this.
potentially, I mean, they could revisit Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. The way I
just do
think
triple
is,
threat.
you know what Paul Heyman said. If he didn't go the direction he is now with, you really wonder, would Paul Heyman's words reign true when he said where Brock Lesnar would be right here with the title again at WrestleMania? But honestly, who knows where Brock Lesnar goes? When does he show up? Who does he confront? If that would have happened at WrestleMania in your opener, you're really setting a precipice for the rest of the night, especially knowing what will main event. But we'll talk more about that later. Speaking of which, I now bring it forward to the enforcer of ATW, my freshly squeezed brother over on the other side of the world. Lex, WrestleMania, mere hours away. We're talking about the WWE Championship. Could you see Brock Lesnar come into play here at all? Could you see some sort of out of nowhere finish coming into play at all? And give me your outlook towards the Almighty versus Scottish Warrior.
What's up, all? First of all, I think there will be possibly an interference, or it might go out in a clean fight. That's my only two options. It's Claymore versus the Spear. Which one is it? But at the same time, Drew has his moment got robbed from WrestleMania last year without the crowd. But if he wins, it might go deja vu all over again. But I'm very also conflicted because Bobby Lashley is on top of his game right now. I mean, the momentum is right there. To have Drew win it again, it's possibly difficult for the fan reactions to see if Drew will get a good reception from the fans that he wins the title. But for me, I don't know which side I will stand, but I'll leave it to any one of you already answered this. So that's my take.
I like that. Very simple take, which last but not least, she is our queen. Such a bright little mind, an up and coming wrestler in her own area, jolly old England. God bless you, my friend. Megan, here we are again. Now, I know you have a ton on your mind, considering you're also a journalist. You write for a publication. Folks, link will be in the description down below. Go check out that site. Go check out her weekly five. With that being said, Megan, we're kicking it off strong. WrestleMania, WWE Championship. Now, I know Drew McIntyre is very close to your heart, being a fellow countryman, but also you have been an incredibly strong supporter of him. But you sometimes look at WWE through one word, and that is logic. And while you can't really put that in a sentence, especially most of the time, this is WrestleMania, you have to consider what will be the bigger moment here, not just for the fans, but going forward. As WrestleMania really sets up the next year of WWE, and this is the WWE Championship, even if it's like a fairly universal. Give me your thoughts and outlook towards this WWE Championship match.
As you said, Drew McIntyre, I've been a big fan, a big supporter of pushing him this year, especially through the pandemic era. I think he's been like a real star of like making, Raw and WWE TV interesting. But as much as I am the bigger fan of Drew McIntyre, if you look from a logical perspective and you look for actually what is going to build the bigger match, the bigger moment, who potentially maybe deserves the win more, I have to go with Bobby Lashley because when you look at it, Drew McIntyre not only did, I guess you could say his moment was robbed because he didn't get to have his moment in front of the fans, but he also had a uniquely special moment that I don't think anyone is going to be able to have again. That he, this pandemic era is something that hopefully we won't have to experience again. And Drew McIntyre made maybe not the moment, but he made a moment. And now I do think it's Bobby Lashley's time. Not only was Drew McIntyre champion once from WrestleMania, but then he lost and regained it already once. I don't think that he can lose and regain it again. I think once he's already done it once. I don't think you could do it, winning the title a third time in a year. I think it's too much. I do think Bobby Lashley has worked so hard. Right now, he is, like Lex said, at the top of his game. The Hurt Business has been one of the most interesting things, that's happened on Raw, even though they now have kind of broken up. But Bobby Lashley has worked hard. He's so like crazy strong with the full Nelson and everything he's been doing recently. I don't see Drew McIntyre winning. With Brock Lesnar, you guys know I don't think he's coming back until Paul Heyman is back readily available for him because I can't see him out on his own. And I don't see Paul Heyman, leaving Roman Reigns right now. But if Brock does return, I hope it's not until after the match or Raw after Mania. We know Raw after Mania is full of surprises and always something to look forward to. So hopefully he doesn't interfere in the match because I'd rather the opening match of WrestleMania not end in a DQ or an interference. I'd like the first match to actually, be a match. So whatever does happen with Brock Lesnar, I hope it's after the match or Raw after Mania.
I think that's fair. I almost could see this being like a revisit of WrestleMania 35 in a way. You get the first big breakout moment of the night, potential title change. You get a pre-match assault attack because Bobby Lashley, he is driven on holding down the almighty era as the almighty WWE champion. We've seen this man's incredible work on his 16-year journey to finally be at this point, to finally hold this title and be that top dominant driving force in the WWE, with MVP, of course, being his cornerman. And MVP always has an agenda of his own. So you got to wonder if MVP is going to have a plan ahead versus what Lashley may want to do. Lashley might even want to go at this one-on-one alone. With that being said, Eric, you got a quick point?
I was going to say, remember, MVP fulfilled his prophecy from a year ago where he publicly said he will have a role in Drew McIntyre's downfall as champ.
Talk about long-term storytelling, similar to Caesar, just like Jake the Snake Roberts promo was pointed out. But I do like you bringing up that continuity there. And again, this is the first WrestleMania since we literally endured a pandemic and watched a WrestleMania without anybody. To this day, I can't go back and rewatch that. That was so damn weird. 25,000 people night one and night two. And yes, this is being recorded officially after the SmackDown Go Home WrestleMania special. It is 10:13 Eastern Standard Time right here in Toledo, Ohio, on Friday, April 9th. With that being said, I do agree with everyone's consensus. This should be a really good match. I sense it's going to take more than one Claymore and or Spear. Also, if that full Nelson gets locked in, and that we have yet to really see put into play here, that could literally be our finish. Maybe the ref gets knocked down and we find some way that MVP uses his cane. There's a lot of different ways I could see this going. But again, this is the opening. How do you set the pace of WrestleMania? We've seen WrestleManias in the past when it comes to the openers, okay? Usually it's one of those moments you're like, oh my God. But we also don't know how the fans are going to react to this too, and how much WWE's going to try and overpipe sound this too. Again, this is the first live, real, organic reactions we're going to get in the WWE since literally over a year plus ago. So again, this truly could go either way. I hope it's pure, clean, extremely competitive. But as far as McIntyre, what's going to become a champion, I am a bit fickle on that too. We'll have to wait and see. So good first thoughts all around. All right, let's move on from there. The next match we'll talk about is something I feel like WWE is truly lacking, but who knows? Maybe this is the start they need under the weirdest of circumstances. Let's go ahead and briefly highlight, keyword briefly, the Raw Tag Team Championship match as the New Day, and might I add, current 11-time tag team champions. Good Lord. They take on for the first time ever the hybrid duo of AJ Styles and making his in-ring debut, almost Apologies if I screw up that name. This is a huge dynamic here. You got incredible wrestler, small man versus unknown wrestler, imposing giant figure. What the hell can we expect from this? Casey, I will start with you on this match. Do you see new tag team champions?
I very possibly do with AJ Styles and almost because, and I will say this, New Day, I like the New Day. I think they're very charismatic guys. I mean, they know how to entertain and all this, but no offense to the New Day, they had the tag titles way too many times. How can you put the tag titles constantly on the same tag team, the New Day, when there's literally nobody else around? That when you put the tag titles on a New Day, that's like beating a dead horse over and over and over and over again. That's like running the same play in football that is not going to work, and the defense already knows it already. I mean, you got to mix it up some and give the tag titles to AJ Styles and Almost, but it will be very interesting to see Almost in a wrestling ring, because we had never seen him once wrestled. We seen him as a bodyguard of Shane McMahon, and now he's the bodyguard of AJ Styles. And AJ Styles, he'll definitely put on a good match and all that stuff, but almost it'll be very interesting to see his move set and how he moves like in the ring. And I think almost is going to be just fine going into this match, because AJ Styles is a trained professional, and they will rehearse this very well and see what almost is good at and what he's not good at. And they'll literally try to make almost put on a show at the least, so he doesn't look bad in front of actual fans that are there. But at end of this match, I see AJ Styles and almost winning the tag titles, because I think it's time that they win the tag titles. I say a New Day are they're okay guys and all, but it's tiring now with them constantly being tag champs over and over again. Give somebody else a chance and let somebody else run with the tag titles instead of running back to the same team that already had them too many times.
Fair enough. Lex, we have no idea what to expect from Almost, but we know recently a big man in himself finally got inducted into W Hall of Fame, rightfully so. That is the Great Khali. Do you expect or want to see some sort of similar performance or dynamic from Almost, shades of what the Great Khali set up for himself? Not a whole lot of mobility, but just from a standing standpoint, dominance, whether it's a punch or a chop or some sort of like vice grip. Give me your expectations on Almost in this match, and do you believe that could lead to new champs?
For me, Almost is a wild card in this match because we never seen him. We only see him as a bodyguard. We only see him as in bodyguard in Raw Underground, bodyguard of AJ Styles. He's a giant, and he has a similarity to the Great Khali, but at the same time, we are facing a 14-time tag team champions, and there is one thing that AJ Styles hasn't won yet, and he will be a Triple Crown champion if he does win the Raw Tag Team Champions with Giant Almost. Almost could possibly surprise us all with his moveset. I mean, that man could possibly be better than most of the big men of the yesteryear, but because some big men have athleticism, but I want to see this guy elevate his game and not just become a typical generic big man that is like for example, the Great Khali limited movement, or the Big Show just chops and choke slams and something like that. But I want to see almost do something out of this world or out of the ordinary. Like, for example, jumping off from a top rope.
All right, that's a wild idea.
Or
Interesting.
or a tag team combo where Giant almost does a choke slam and then AJ Styles goes for a phenomenal forearm.
So we're
Maybe
taking
almost
New
as-
Day and pancakes to a new level.
What are we on there? That's a flapjack. That's a flapjack. But I like that. AJ tries and does the friggin' phenomenal form from the top of Omos's shoulders.
But at the same time, the New Day will have their tactics because they're gonna take down a Giant. Because the one thing that the New Day is good at strategy is taking out a big man first.
That is true.
In tag team,
Right.
the typical trope of tag team when you have a smaller opponent versus a big man and AJ Styles, who's the same height as the New Day, it's like chopping down a tree.
Work the legs and bring down the beast. No pun intended.
Right.
It's like in a typical movie, like where you have to take down the Giant first.
Right, take out the lower base. That way he
That's
can
right.
use his power, bring him down to your level. I can definitely see
Or
that
Chop
play.
him down.
Or possibly almost could squash them, like Megan said, like a pancake.
Flapjack.
Run
Right.
them over like a
And-
freight train truck,
And
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 that would
like-
be scary.
Yep.
That would be scary if almost it's both the New Day and the middle of the ring.
Right, double
Like
choke
that-
slam spot in the end, and
and
maybe a double pin, making him look the strongest. So yeah,
and like
almost
the
definitely has the wild factor. Makes sense. Casey, you have a point, real quick.
and like the old saying goes, since you mentioned working at the legs or almost, like the old saying goes, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
True.
And I will, and if they do something with a spot with AJ Styles hitting a phenomenal forearm off of almost his shoulders, that will be wow. That'll be a wow moment like of the night, because I could possibly see this happening, but almost, I mean, he might shock us with how well he moves in the ring. Because if he hits something from the top rope, I mean, let's say for example, if he hits a moonsault from the top rope,
Okay, now you're crazy.
that is gonna be that's gonna be an oh my god wow moment of the night. I mean,
More like-
it'll be
Almost God moment.
and
Oh
it
my-
will be, and I wouldn't expect almost to hit a shooting star press like Brock Lesnar did at Mania 19 in
Oh, yeah, the one where he
2003
finally broke his
versus
neck.
Kurt Angle for the WWE title.
Right.
I
and
mean,
there's
I
a-
wouldn't expect.
But
I
do
wouldn't
you know what's
expect
the
that.
but do you know what's the scariest thing? What if Giant almost does a 450 splash?
I mean, no DQ, no DQ imposed, almost doing a 630 off the top rope, and one of my reactions from it. But that being said, we're talking way too much about the big guy here. We're talking way too much about the big guy here. That's only one piece of the puzzle. Let's keep this going forward. We have 3 other opinions to talk about. So let's get a different outlook. Eric, AJ Styles, he is basically a made man. At this point, if he wins this, he's Grand Slam. He really has nothing else to pursue. What else really needs to be said here where we don't see AJ Styles becoming the new tag team champion? Give me some sort of opposing thoughts you might have towards this.
I have only 3 things. 1. Okay, so what if I told you? I feel like when I realized it, I was like, wow, they missed an opportunity to call back on this. Because imagine if AJ Styles just went ahead and said this on live TV, where he says, because at WrestleMania, the big man and the medium-sized man are going to carve them up. Going all Scott Hall and Kevin Nash on them. Number
That's a
2,
callback.
during when AJ Styles was wrestling against Kofi Kingston, I think. Remember when Xavier Woods played the trombone and everything?
Yes.
Someone figured something out about that moment.
What?
Xavier Woods was playing a trombone version of AJ Styles' TNA theme song.
Yep, he was. Oh yeah,
Direction play.
And number 3, I think. Well, I don't know if Omos and AJ are going to win. Well, it is possible since I'm kind of annoyed with the New Day at this point. I do think this is the match where we're going to see the Spanish announce table get mandatorily destroyed.
It wouldn't be a pay-per-view in WWE without the Spanish announce table.
And I definitely think Omos is going to possibly either choke slam or throw all the way from the ring all the way into the tables one of the New Day.
I can see German announce table also at ringside because we do have 3 of them. Literally, almost takes Xavier Woods, throws them off.
Yeah, but there might be another factor. There might be one more factor.
What's that?
Mustafa Ali was screwed out, so might as well get some payback.
Yeah, I mean, he's got no faction. He needs a new storyline, so maybe someone with him and Kofi.
And he was promised, and he was supposed to get Kofi Kingston, and there's still a revenge story to be told.
True. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, that's about it.
Megan, now, I know you're a fan of the New Day. There's no denying that. So, with that being said, don't you dare be sour when I tell you I personally want new tag champs. But I want your opinion and outlook on this match. And again, if Omos impresses you, would you be satisfied if Omos and AJ Styles have a run with the tag titles?
So at this current time, right, Friday night for you guys, early Saturday morning for me, just before WrestleMania, I can't tell you that I'd be happy with the New Day losing the titles. However, as soon as that bell rings and the match starts, I will be open to being swayed if Omos can prove to be good in the ring. Because as of right now, you look at you can't really say that Omos and AJ Styles deserve a title run because we haven't seen them work together in the ring. We haven't seen Omos in the ring at all. And right. I personally am actually really excited to see this because I think Omos is going to be really good. But from right now, I don't know. So I think the New Day are still like the safe option to win, but it's WrestleMania season. Safe is boring. So I would have to AJ and Omos win the title prove to actually be good and entertaining. If Omos is not that good in the ring, then I'll stick with the New Day. But I do think that they can be a good team, work well together, and really surprise everyone on the weekend. So,
all right, fair analysis. Last but not least, King, you have been a huge supporter of Kofi Kingston. Truth be told, he has put in more work than most of these men in this match combined, just under WWE alone. He is diehard WWE. It seems like this is going to be the highest point that he reaches, and it seems like he's almost content with that. So at this point, if Kofi Kingston does drop the titles, maybe you see him going after, I don't know, United States title, maybe finally the New Day, they all go their own separate ways. But give me your outlook towards this match. And as a itself, Lex, you got some sort of background noise going on in your screen, brother. King, as a New Day fan, yourself, what are your thoughts towards this title match?
When I look at this match, I see a well-known tag team versus an unknown. And have most of y'all had touched on it. We haven't seen Omos in the ring. We don't know what his skill set is. We don't know what type of style he wrestles. But I guess with all the training that they're going to do, like y'all said, rehearse it with Omos and everything, see what his strengths are and his weaknesses are. I mean, I say this would be an okay match. And Casey touched on it when giving the New Day the tag team titles as being like a dead horse. I'm going to take it a step further. It's like giving Brock – they're going the Brock Lesnar route when it comes to the New Day. Because whenever Brock holds a major champion or he's in a title contention for a Universal or a WWE Championship, he's most likely going to win. Because what does Vince see in Brock? He's a draw. And this is the reason why I'm going to say the New Day are going to retain here, because what does Vince see in the New Day? A draw, but also there is no tag team. These two were just basically, AJ's bodyguard and AJ Styles. That's basically it. Because they are not a well-established team to basically get their, tag team match underneath their belt to get ready for Mania. And like Megan said, I don't think they deserve the titles at this rate. And unless Omos proves me wrong.
Again, Omos is the wild factor here. We're going to have to see the very first thing this man does, and I think that will tell us the story of this match. But again, if you're going to reset things at the WrestleMania, reset your tag division, surprise me with some weirdness. Why not have an unorthodox duo with a big man that we have no idea can wrestle versus one of the best wrestlers in the world? Why not? I hope for new champs. All right, let's keep moving forward. I think we're going to keep this one pretty brief because we were in depth on this. We always know WrestleMania has to give us the W, but the E, entertainment. So what's your entertainment spot here in this match? But one, Bad Bunny. Here's what I can say about him versus other celebrities. He seems to generally care about the product and generally care about what happens in that ring, that he is legitimately training for it. I feel he is going to surprise us. And just because he's putting in the work ethic, I respect that. And I'm not going to frown upon this match, especially since now we know, thank God, it was made a tag team match. So we know Bad Bunny is definitely going to be in great hands and won't have to do all the work. So I do hope he surprises us. It's Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison. Let's go ahead and briefly, and I'm going to try it again, briefly get quick thoughts. And this time we will start with Megan on this one because she got giddy. Megan, your thoughts on this. What do you expect?
Guys, I have to say, a few weeks ago, I was really mad about this. I didn't want to see it. I wanted Bad Bunny out of here. But Miz and Morrison, I'm a fan. Hey, hop, hop, all that. Love it. But I actually have a lot of respect for Bad Bunny and all the hard work that he's put in. For someone like Randy Orton to actually come out and say that Bad Bunny's been working hard, is quite high in my estimation. So I think I'm excited to see how hard he's been working and actually see what he can do. Also, Damian Priest is awesome. We haven't seen much of him since being paired with Bad Bunny. I think people that don't know him as well as we do from watching him in the next, I think they get to see some really cool stuff from him, because I don't know if you can watch Damian Priest and not be impressed. So I think it'll be really good for him as well. The Miz is one of the hardest working guys. Even whether you love him, whether you hate him, he can work. And I think overall, as long as the match is short and it doesn't go on for too long, I think it will be good, fun, lighthearted entertainment in the middle of the show. And yeah.
And honestly, the celebrity has to go over here. At WrestleMania, the celebrities always get a positive bump. So I don't think we need to talk about result. But let's go ahead and talk about outlook here. Casey, it seems like Miz and Morrison, they're pretty much in contentment what they're doing here. Once again, they're on WrestleMania. Once again, they're getting paid. Once again, they seem to be functioning well as a duo. It looks like Morrison, they're having fun. This should be a fun showcase. And I know how much you're behind Miz and Morrison to the point you annoy me with that freaking rap, and we're not going to get into that. So I want you to keep
Miz and Morrison. Hey.
Stop it. Stop it. I will stop the call right now. Stop it. With that being
control,
said,
Casey,
I feel like he already gave his rebuttal, but I'm going to ask you for a brief outlook towards what do you expect to see with Bad Bunny and the Miz more so in this match, was really what this centers around.
All right. What I expect from Bad Bunny is I expect him to surprise us all. I mean, we never once seen him in a live wrestling ring wrestle at all. I mean, and Randy Orton give his total endorsement and to say something good about Bad Bunny like that means you must be really doing something good. If you got a major star and a long-time veteran and the youngest world heavyweight champion at 23 years old and Randy Orton endorsing you like that, that is an absolute honor to get an endorsement from the Legend Killer and the Viper himself. But Bad Bunny here, what I expect is I think he's going to be just fine, and he's gonna be okay. He's gonna do okay, and I think he will get some moments in on a Miz where he will humiliate the Miz on the at WrestleMania, and I think the Miz is never gonna get over that loss if Bad Bunny is the one that picks up the win, and he's the one that pins the Miz 1, 2, 3. But do I see Bad Bunny hit the skull crushing finale on the Miz to rub it in like during the middle of the match? Of course I do. And if he hits the skull crushing finale on the Miz and pins him 1, 2, 3, that will be the biggest humiliation in the Miz's entire career, that he got beaten with his own move by Bad Bunny.
I mean, it's a reverse Russian leg sweep, so it seems simple enough. So I do get what you're saying. Lex, your brief thoughts on this match. I don't know about you, but I feel like Damian Priest really needs the moment here. I feel like he needs to get the ultimate victory in the end. But Bad Bunny, I mean, if he gets a couple of spots in, that should satisfy the crowd. Give me your thoughts towards this match.
Exactly.
For me, Bad Bunny's like all of us. We're fans like him. We're wrestling fans like him, and to see the dream that he had to go and out and wrestle, that's everybody's dream, to be able to wrestle in a WrestleMania or in a crowd. I have nothing but respect for Bad Bunny for taking the risk. This is like the Stephen Amell
Same here.
again. This is like the Stephen Amell all over again, where he faced Stardust. But Stephen Amell surprises us all. I hope Bad Bunny does the same reception as we hope for. And Bad Bunny is a talented musician, but also a huge wrestling fan, just like us, who loves the wrestling as much as we all do. And if Bad Bunny actually exceeds to our expectations, he could be a solid wrestler if his rap career is over.
That's an interesting.
I mean,
thought. I guess that.
Let me add more to that. Let's not forget that Bad Bunny is training, and then, like Casey said, he got recognized by the Viper himself, Randy Orton, for endorsing him on the training.
True.
It's all about work ethic in terms of the passion that Bad Bunny wants to go lengths with. I mean, coming from a wrestling fan to a wrestling fan, that's a bold move to take.
Even if it is
Exactly.
a one-off, but also on the grandest stage of them all. So again, I feel Bad Bunny's very humbled by this opportunity and what WWE has allowed him to do ever since performing Booker T at the Royal Rumble. And I never even heard of the guy, and now I got that Booker T backdrop theme stuck in my head, and that's literally his theme. But I digress. With that being said, Eric, what's your thoughts regarding this celebrity showcase here?
I mean, like, I thought, okay, so we went this whole thing. I was like, can we please not have any celebrity involvement? But it's ingrained in WWE's blood at this point. So I was like, okay, can we at least have celebrities that will take a bump, hopefully? And sadly, they got one, but I will not bring him up for the fact that I will lose my mind. But he is being trained by Adam Pearce, so Bad Bunny has a shot. The former NWA champion, so he has a shot there.
Yeah.
And there is something that came out. Booker T is going to go ahead and be a guest commentator for one of the matches, and I'm pretty sure it involves Bad Bunny because, we got to drop his album.
He literally is in the WWE because he made a song about Booker T. Now, all Booker T needs to do is show up in that military attire while doing the commentary. Maybe Booker T gets involved and takes a cheap shot against one of the two.
I definitely see, hopefully, Damian Priest gets over on this because this is the thing I was afraid of. Damian Priest is now the side character, much like Aleister Black is, except he needs to get the pinfall victory here.
Exactly.
I agree.
Because if Miz say if Miz and Morrison win, Damian Priest is the one because we can't have Bad Bunny lose because we have a celebrity involvement.
Bingo.
But if that happens, like, okay, Damian Priest, you probably could have been Baron Corbin if you were likable, but now your career's ruined here. You're a side character to everyone. I feel like Damian Priest has to make the fall victory here. Like Miz and Morrison are perfectly content doing whatever the heck they were doing with the bunny outfits.
Don't remind me. That was one of the stupidest freaking
like the moment you saw that, I was like, Morrison, do you regret re-signing with them at this point? Like the rest was already bad, but this was possibly pushing it for him.
I guess the money talks. Heck, his wife's involved. Hey, spoiler alert, folks. You don't know who Fantasy Monet is. It's Taya Valkyrie. Go look up Cage Match Wrestling.
And they're changing her name.
What?
They're changing Taya Valkyrie's name.
I know. Fancy Monet. Some nonsense like that. Monet Fancy. Some weird nonsense like that. But different discussion for a different day.
Yeah.
But yeah, Damian Priest also seems to be in good graces with the locker room, whatever that means. And I guess on Vince's side, but Vince again can change on the fly. Didn't mean for that to rhyme. So again, we'll have to see what happens. But again, Damian Priest has to go over here. King, closing thoughts. We know what Damian Priest is capable of. What's the one thing you hope to see from Bad Bunny that leads eventually towards Priest and Bad Bunny getting victory? I mean, come on, who really wants to see Miz and Morrison win this thing?
I don't want to see Miz and Morrison win this because basically they're just hey, trash at this rate. They've been at that rate for so long to where Miz was WWE champion. Think about it, guys. Miz was WWE champion in 2021. Who wanted that to happen? Not me, not this king. This king didn't want
all I say is this, King. It should have happened a few years back when Bryan and Miz were feuding.
There you go.
But here's the thing, though, Eric. He had his moment. WrestleMania 27. He had it there, and it should have stayed there. Because, in my opinion, that was his only time to shine. And that Miz, I liked. Now, this Miz, I don't. But as far as work ethic with Bad Bunny, he's impressed me a lot. Like, when he first came in, I was like, okay, who is this guy? Who,
yeah, I think everyone has said that.
Like,
I'm like, here's the best thing we can say about this whole match. At least it's not for the WWE title like David Arquette was.
Good point.
Yeah, let's not
WCW.
But like y'all touched on it, Damian Priest has to go over because more eyes need to be on Damian Priest, a former NXT North American champion, may I add. So I see Damian Priest and Bad Bunny with the win here, but Damian Priest getting the pinfall on the Miz or Morrison.
Guys, chances are Damian Priest will be the one to deliver the final move. He'll tag in Bad Bunny and Bad Bunny picks up the 1, 2, 3. It's how it always works.
Yeah, with a splash off the top rope because we know Bad Bunny can at least do a crossbody off the top pretty well because we all saw what happened back at the Royal Rumble. I completely agree with you. In fact, I can literally see that being the outcome. Lex, you got one last spot before we move on?
I would be surprised if Bad Bunny did a 450 splash.
Yeah, I mean, if he's training, that's the next step up, I suppose. But again, I'm pretty sure anyone doesn't believe.
He's small and
true.
It has momentum to do a 450.
Well, it all comes down to the way you take your body off the top rope going forward, and then how you adjust in midair. But again, we're not coaches here. We'll see what happens. Bad Bunny.
Wait. Let me add more. Imagine Bad Bunny doing a 619.
That's actually more believable, but let's keep moving on because again, folks, WrestleMania 2 nights, we have 7 matches each night, and it starts an hour later than normal. God help us on Peacock. So with that being said, let's keep moving forward. And there are some matches here I'm like, why? But I digress. Next match we'll talk about is Tag Team Turmoil as we try and figure out who will hold the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Yes, Megan, I have the same sentiment as you, so I hope we do not spend a lot of time here. Say a team name and say what you hate and move on. Tag team tournament includes 5 teams, and the winner of this will face Shayna Baszler and the following night for the tag titles. So we have newly added Billie Kay and Carmella. We have the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. We have Naomi and Lana. We have Natalya and Tamina. I'm fine. And we have Anna Brooke and Mandy Rose. Now, I'm just going to keep this super simple, and I really hope you all do the same. It's in Florida, WrestleMania 33. She is highly underrated. Give her another damn moment. You've already given Lana more than enough. Why not give it her a tag partner? I'm keeping it simple. I got Naomi and Lana moving forward. As far as what happens the next day, we'll talk about that when we get there. Eric, you're first.
They're probably going to follow up with the table bashing, but I'm just like, this is clearly a shot at New Japan.
Duh.
Yep, obviously.
Except it's not in the kickoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the main card. They said they're not going to do a kickoff stuff.
Yet they have the WrestleMania both days scheduled at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you got an hour-long kickoff panel ahead of you. But anyway.
Which means they're just going to talk and tell us we're stupid and tell us, oh, this is what happened if you didn't watch it yesterday.
Yeah, you'll hear Sam Roberts. You'll hear Peter Rosenberg. You'll hear JBL. You'll hear some other people we don't give a damn about, but I digress.
Yeah, so I kind of don't care about this whole tournament thing.
Yeah, me neither. Again, if it's not Naomi and Lana, who the hell cares? Naomi, in my opinion, should be more involved towards the actual championship at some point, even before WrestleMania. You have one of the longest running veterans in your company, one of the hardest working women I've certainly have seen in this company, and you treat her like this. Now, if the friendship thing is real between Lana and Naomi, then absolutely no disrespect. But all I gotta say is Naomi deserves better. Honestly, I would have loved if she was involved in the Hurt Business. RIP to that. So that's why I'm going with Naomi.
I agree.
More so because Naomi deserves it. And that's all I gotta say about that. Casey, you're next. Pick a team.
Who I have in this match is the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott here, is because I see them as they could pick up a win. I would never count out the Heart, the Riot Squad, and all that. I think they can be able to pick up a win and all this. And you touched on the fact about Naomi. Naomi and Lana, no disrespect. Naomi is going to get cheered because this is her home state of Florida and she's from Orlando. And Naomi has been in the business a good while now, and she's a hardworking woman and started out as a cheerleader of the Orlando Magic before wanting to become a wrestler. And that, I have a lot of respect for that. And she's already a very talented female wrestler. And Naomi, she could easily put up classics with other female wrestlers. If she's away from this tag scene, like with Lana, now, don't get me wrong, on the other hand, I see the Riot Squad winning this one, but as much as I see, if Naomi and Lana wins, then I don't mind that. And if they win the tag match, Naomi and Lana, I could see Shayna and Nia beating them and when they go on, because let's face it here. Either one of these tag teams are going to be bruised and sore from the first match earlier, and Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler are going to be fresh. Fresh and ready to go, and they'll have a clear advantage as if over to one of the tag teams. If the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott win, then Shayna and Nia have an advantage over them because they're fresh and ready to go. Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan just wrestled a match, and I would say the same with Naomi and Lana. I mean, Shayna and Nia is still going to have the advantage no matter what, because either one of these tag teams are going to be bruised and sore from that first match earlier.
All right.
But I go with the Riot Squad on this one.
I can get that. Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, they do seem to have more so a tag team chemistry. And honestly, you wonder if these two will ever be champions. They also are the reason one of my teams, the only legitimate team in WWE Women Wrestling in the last 15 damn years, is broken up, but I digress. Anyway, thank you, Megan. Lex, 3 spots, quick pick.
For me, it would be the same thing as Casey, the Riot Squad. Even though I picked Naomi and Lana, I might change my pick to the Riot Squad now because, you know, they're the only actual legit tag team in that fatal 5-way. I mean, despite, you know, Sarah Logan's not there anymore, but
right,
2 of them are the actual tag team. But like Casey said, battered and bruised, and then Shayna and Nia will come at them like a shark in the water, because, you know, battered and bruised, blooded or something, you know, shark smells blood, and you know that will come storming through.
Right.
And at the same time, if the Riot Squad wins this would be a huge WrestleMania moment for both of them. You know, these two went great lengths from the very beginning of their debut on SmackDown and to the Raw and back to SmackDown again, and then the split up and then the reunion and everything. Now,
and the repeated feud with Sasha Banks and Bayley, because that had to keep going.
Yeah,
some things never end, or some things they believe shouldn't end. Retcon. But anyway, Lex, go ahead, finish up your point. Sorry about that.
I know we all got gutted out when the Iconics, also a legitimate tag team, got split out. But the one Iconic,
thank you.
The only one thing, the one true tag team that's left is the Riot Squad. So that's my pick to win. And never underestimate the grits and gutsiness and the high risk daredevil, no fear whatsoever on the Riot Squad.
Well, fair enough. I mean, they are renegades, and they've really been through hell and back with each other, and now they're back together as a duo. But honestly, no team right now in this damn thing has any momentum, as we just saw them all clash backstage to the point, we're going to add a 5th team just cuz. And one of them is not going to be Bayley involved. And we'll talk more about that later, because I'm sure Megan will have a rant later on. With that being said, because we already know who the hosts are. With that being said, you iconic hater, but I digress. King, your brief thoughts and pick on this match. Yeah, I called you out.
And he's absolutely right.
First of all, before I get on this discussion, I am not an iconic hater. I just know women's wrestling at its finest. Anyways, digress on that. For this, why is the women's tag team championship still a thing? I don't know. Because basically they can't even book their own division right to have a tag team division in the women's division.
Yep.
So, like, as far as I can see, and for what we was talking earlier on the chat here, Noah, here is the official graphic for it. If I can zoom in a little bit, there it is.
Thank you very much. I will be sure to update the form. Note if you Galaxy, get your predictions in. Form in the description down below. You have till kickoff. Continue, King.
All right. I gotta go with Lana and Naomi because we're in Florida, Casey. That's what I'm pretty sure all of y'all have touched on it. We are in Florida. That's Naomi's home state. And like they gave her WrestleMania moment, like you touched on Noah at WrestleMania 33 when she became SmackDown Women's Championship. which that was not a bad match. I want to go back and watch it. So, but quick and brief, Lana and Naomi. That's my team.
Okay. And again, I get it. Iconics were not the strongest team in the ring, but they were a legitimate tag team and the only one at the time. And you and I can debate on this another day. Stay tuned, folks. ATW View, the great debates of the WWE. Topic 1, women's tag team wrestling. What's legit? What's not? But that will be for another day and another time. Megan, you know why I saved you last. You already had initial thought and emotion when I said this friggin' match. So give me your quick pick and quick thought because I know you'll have a rant for the follow-up later on. But who you got going over to the champs?
Let me keep it real quick, right? Like Shayna says all the time, it really does not matter who wins because no matter who wins, they all break the same way and no one is going to get further, so it doesn't really matter. But my pick is Tamina and Natty. They have the most momentum. Not that really anyone does, but they do have the most momentum. It's the match I would rather see. Yeah, that's it. Just keep it short.
All right, I like it. And heck, I mean, Paul Heyman encouraged Natalya, hey, you want to be in the spotlight, you want to be on WrestleMania, you want to actually get something, quit bitching and moaning and actually do something about it. So
because Heyman never did that before ECW happened.
Oh, nobody remembers that from the 90s. Oh, come on, Eric. What you talking about? That's a patch. All right. If one of you goes longer than 60 damn seconds talking about this next match, I'm walking out of the room and y'all can host this yourself. Shane McMahon, steel cage match. I do not want to spend even 5 minutes on this.
Keep it quick. Keep it quick.
I can keep this short sweet.
Eric, this is all you. You are the only one.
AEW did a Shakespearean tragedy. WWE is doing a fifth grade report card feud. It's a failure. We've lost. WWE calls it a day. Call it a day, everyone. I'm out. Thank you all.
We're gonna see you later. Yeah. If Braun Strowman doesn't somehow get the win over here, he truly is the stupidest man in WWE. I pray to God he doesn't throw Shane off the top of the cage from a table, or literally rams Shane McMahon through the steel cage where Shane's gonna hit the floor first. Braun Strowman, if you lose this, I literally lose all faith in you ever becoming a champion again. Braun Strowman better win. Now, does anyone else have any one sentence statement about this match before we move on, King?
Hold up. I run fast. I'm Braun Strowman. I'm going with Braun Strowman.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Monday Night Raw 2021. How we have set the bar so low.
Please
remember, freaking missing is Slime and Mark Summers.
I got one. Breaking live action 5 report coming in from Florida. Breaking news. WWE superstar Braun Strowman runs fast. And
the thing. This guy was being pushed as a legitimate giant.
All right. Oh,
look, the only thing that needs to happen, Shane McMahon falls off something high or jumps off something high, because that's all the match is. It's the Shane McMahon OMG spot that's not that big damn of a deal for a 49-year-old man. And that's all I got to say about that.
I ain't gonna go on too long. I ain't gonna go on too long about this. But
I mean, neither, because my blood pressure I feel is already rising from anger.
My pick here is Braun Strowman to win this over Shane McMahon, because when you get down to it, if they do a steel cage spot on top of the roof where Braun throws Shane off the cage like he did with Kevin Owens, Braun, you just proved Shane McMahon right.
That you are capital
stupid. And when you get down to it, the report card thing was like 5th grade elementary bullshit. I mean, this is a professional wrestling business. This ain't no kindergarten.
I just remember what Vince said. Remember what Vince said, Casey. They're the sophisticated company next to that blood and guts crap.
And when you get down to it, I ain't gonna go on too long about this.
Yeah,
Braun, you better win here, or I'm not gonna take you serious anymore. You'll become a laughing stock of a you know what, and I ain't even gonna say it.
This is worse than Big Show losing to a sumo wrestler in a sumo wrestling match, because that actually makes sense.
Aki Bono. He
Didn't Big
lost to
Show lose
Aki
stepping on a
Bono.
table?
What was that, Eric?
Didn't Big Show lose a match stepping on a table?
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah, nice.
It wasn't at WrestleMania, but yes, he did.
Yeah.
Megan's got her arms folded, so I just want Megan to give her thoughts in 7 words or less. Go.
I don't care.
There
That
you
sounds
go.
about right.
Simple as that.
Same here. Amen to that, sis.
Lex, you're the only one that remains
Amen.
silent. 1 sentence. Go.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. Even
All right, that's a wrap. Okay. So the beauty of WrestleMania, you have those bathroom breaks. You have those moments that like, why the hell does this exist? And you have those moments where you're like, I cannot wait for this. Guys, you raise your hand first. You want to talk about this one. Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. We know how much Cesaro is highly underrated, but he has signed a new contract with WWE. He should be a freaking world champion. And Daniel Bryan has endorsed this guy, where Cesaro has gone over Daniel Bryan in instant classics on SmackDown on numerous occasions. And then you got the guy with what's probably becoming the word of 2021, the drip. What the hell? Anyway, pulling out all these suits, still the Messiah guy, but still trying to bring us the classics. Seth Rollins should be used to push the business forward. He lost last year's WrestleMania against Kevin Owens. This year, I sense Cesaro has to win this. Cesaro needs to continue to be pushed forward. I'm expecting some tremendous wrestling here, but I hope that the fans let this organically build and really show us how much to support Cesaro. With that being said, this is going to be tremendous. This is Cesaro's first ever singles showing at WrestleMania. I cannot wait for this. Lex, you kick this off. Your thoughts on Cesaro versus Seth Rollins?
Cesaro has to win, man. I mean, it's a long time coming. As much as Megan could disagree with all of us picking Cesaro to win, Cesaro has come a long way. I mean, remember, he was that so close to winning in the Chamber, I think? Was it?
That's correct.
yes,
Yeah,
correct.
he was so close to winning in that in Chamber, but, didn't happen. But Cesaro, he has some great OMG moments. Remember the hot tag from when he was with the Bar?
The tag team we thought we never wanted, and they became tag team champions after a series of 7 that will go down in the annals of WWE. That was so damn good.
Remember, he did a freaking flying uppercut and everything, the crossbody, and
The guy can do it all. The guy can freaking do it all. Let's just be honest.
Cesaro is a perfect example of a super athlete.
Damn right. And again, go ahead.
He can do it all. Video games, coffee, wrestling
He's got a
purists.
character and a personality people gravitate towards. I was laughing my butt off and enjoying the conversation he had with Renee Paquette on Oral Sessions. Highly recommend you all listen to that. But yeah, what more needs to be said? Great points. King, you're next. Your thoughts on Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Now, Seth Rollins has come back here. He feels disrespected. And to think, this match really came out of one thing. A Cesaro swing. I don't know about y'all. It's WrestleMania. Cesaro loves to impress us in the ring, but entertain us. I sense Cesaro swing is going to be involved in this match, though Seth says will never happen again. But give me your thoughts on the outlook of this match. And if Lex has a point, I can go back to him after we go all around. But King, you're next. Talk.
All right. First of all, I think Cesaro should break his own swing record at WrestleMania, see how many swings he can do in the middle of the match, because basically, like you said, involved a lot. Oh, at this year's Mania, he should see how many swings he can do at WrestleMania, break his swing record. But also, this is a long time coming for Cesaro to be having his first singles match at a WrestleMania, because this is the guy who Vince McMahon sees as, oh, well, he doesn't have any charisma. That's why we can't push him as world champion. Bull crap. He has charisma. He has the wrestling ability. He's one of the strongest people in WWE's history right now. I mean, Cesaro should already been world champion years ago. And I mean, basically, don't get me wrong. Seth Rollins is one of my favorites. One of my favorites. But at this rate, I think Cesaro should beat Seth. Seth is bulletproof. Seth is bulletproof at this point. I mean, a loss won't hurt him at all. Let Cesaro get a push, and I mean a major push, and not let Vince hold back. And let's go this time, hopefully, and we see where we go from here. I take Cesaro for the win.
Very fun points. We've already seen how many times Seth Rollins has recreated his character, but also show how much he can be an ass. With that being said, Eric, your thoughts on this match, despite Seth Rollins' idealisms he expresses on social media?
Okay, let's be real. Cesaro needs a win. But here's the thing. I said this when he resigned. Since he has spent years either proving to Vince I belong in the main event or complaining that Vince is a moronic idiot, even going so far as to shoot on live TV and say, this was supposed to be my year. I have delivered every time in this ring, and actually stole a microphone with that. I said this. If Cesaro starts falling apart on this, he can't complain anymore. He resigned. He could have left after WrestleMania. He could have been done and just go to New Japan and wrestled Okada and stole the show there. But he chose to resign. If it's because he's getting older and he's 40 years old, okay, fine. But he can't complain anymore. I feel like he can't just go online again and say, I've been screwed again, because we already have enough with Colby Lopez going hand whining every single second, acting like, why does everyone not like me? Why didn't my face turn fail?
Fair point.
Sorry, Meg, but seriously, like Seth has for 2 years, and Seth still doesn't get why fans turned on him. In my opinion,
some people fickle, but I digress. I'm gonna say Megan because I just see her demeanor and it makes me laugh.
Oh,
Casey, break thoughts on this match. Come on, Cesaro needs this freaking win.
All right. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins here. They're both great wrestlers and all this. I mean, Seth Rollins, I mean, the guy is bulletproof after all, just like one of my co-hosts just said. He's bulletproof. But it would not hurt Seth Rollins to put a talent, guy that can move in the ring and give us one hell of a show in Cesaro. Cesaro, just like Lex said, that hot tag match one time, he was literally going all over the place. It was like he was like a damn rocket that was let loose. He was going all over the place. He was going insane. He was, by God, hitting everybody that, by God, moved. And
oh
it would
God,
not,
I just remembered something.
And
Cesaro.
Cesaro,
In case we finish first.
I would like to see him go over here on Seth Rollins and Cesaro. This is a long time coming for him because he needs a WrestleMania moment. And what Vince McMahon said about him, I just don't think he's world champion. Bullshit. Didn't you hear the crowd that night going insane for this guy? They're letting you know right there the guy has it in him to be world champion. And Cesaro, I'd like to see him break his own swing record. I'd like to see him go for 40 swings at WrestleMania on Seth Rollins. Just hit the big 4-0 if he could do it. And my God, if he hits 40 swings, I'm going to pop real loud. That's going to be a record. And if he is able to hit 40 swings, that will be very impressive.
I
Make
will
it
be
50.
I'll be
standing in the
impressed.
front.
Make it 50. Make it 50 swings.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
let's
he.
not
I
overkill
don't
it.
think he could do.
Let's not
50
overkill it.
I don't even
37.
think he could do. I don't
That's
think
what I
he
was
could
going
do.
for, Megan.
I don't think he could do 50 swings because
Oh, he
he's
totally-
going to
he
be
totally
like
can. I
two.
mean, You got
He's
to
gonna
watch
be-
Cesaro on the Indies. He did 100
He's gonna
swings
be-
on Daniel Bryan.
He's going to be too dizzy. And I say Cesaro. I mean, you guys go say 37, you and Noah, Megan. But my pick is the big 4-0, 40. And if he could go for 40, then I will be genuinely impressed. In fact, I'm genuinely impressed with Cesaro now. Cesaro and Seth Rollins, I like both of these guys, but Cesaro should go over here on Rollins. I rest my case.
Wait, let me add to Casey's. Okay, if Casey says it's 40, I'm gonna buy a Cesaro coffee, the one he has
All right. there you go.
online. I'm gonna buy his coffee online.
All right. Eric has a quick point, and then we'll go to the main event of this match. And honestly, this match could steal night one, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, Eric, you just saw something apparently. So what's on your mind?
Cesaro and the beach ball moment.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's
He
right.
just stormed into the crowd, tore it up, and the fans were like, "Can we get another one of that?"
Ooh.
Respect,
Oh, that was
respect
awesome.
wrestling when it's done by someone who could actually wrestle. Cesaro, one of the best pound for pound in the ring.
But
Bell
here's
to bell, always get a
the sad thing about Cesaro, I feel.
Men did that.
Here's the
And
sad
I
thing
love
about
that he did
Cesaro, I
that.
feel.
Well,
He
So
came
do
into
I.
wrestling. I think he was born in the wrong time because Vince was never going to accept him. But here's the thing: I think he should have been born before the Bruno Sammartino. Imagine Cesaro versus Bruno.
in his prime.
Oh,
That could have been the man
Bruno.
that could have literally beaten Bruno without legitimately injuring him.
Or imagine
Yeah.
this. Young Suzuki versus the prime Cesaro.
I mean, Suzuki, you go to him and talk about age, she's gonna break your face. Because as far as Suzuki goes, we can talk about that another day. We're going off topic.
Or hear me out. This is my dream match that I wish it happened. Give me Walter versus Cesaro.
That's still gonna
Yeah.
happen. NXT UK.
Ooh.
We got to find competition for Walter. But guys, we're going off
That should
topic.
happen at
We
a
got
takeover.
to get Megan's input.
We gotta get Meg's input. We're not even done with night one.
Megan.
We've already been going for an hour. I know we're excited for this one, but Megan has been stewing about her boy Drip all day because I know that's who she's going with.
And I'm pretty sure she didn't like me bashing him.
So Megan, put Eli Drake on
Of
us.
course,
Right.
I'm not surprised.
Embrace the drip. Okay, I'm gonna surprise you guys here, right? Because embrace the drip. Seth Rollins is the GOAT. Seth Rollins is not only one of the best wrestlers in the world, WWE, wherever you want to say, Seth Rollins is the GOAT, but he also is very good at putting people over, as we saw last year with Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins is fantastic, whether he's a heel, whether he's a face, whether he's in a faction, whether he's in a tag team, whether he's by himself, no matter what you do with Seth Rollins, he is the GOAT. However, you want to look at my predictions right here. That is Cesaro's name ticks because Cesaro is going to win this one because Seth Rollins will definitely put him over. And Cesaro needs to win. Like you guys said, Seth Rollins
I
is
agree.
bulletproof. This guy could take 100 losses and he's still the GOAT. And he'd still be fine the next day. Seth Rollins is absolutely fine to take another loss. He was undefeated at WrestleMania until last year. I was not happy with him losing last year because he was undefeated.
He lost at
However,
31.
He lost at 31, but he also picked up a win at 31, so it cancels it out. He's picked up a win at every WrestleMania. No, it wasn't that he's undefeated. I worded that wrong. He picked up a win. He picked up a win at every WrestleMania he's been a part of, apart from last year. But he was, doing well, picking up a win at every Mania, apart from last year. Now he's already taken that one loss. Forget that. It's all good. He can lose again. Everyone is fine. He'll pick up. Also, everyone is getting really bored of the Messiah thing. So maybe he needs to change up a little bit. Still stay as a heel because he's more interesting as a heel. But yeah, maybe he could do with a little change up. It's Cesaro's time. It's always been Cesaro's time. I'll take Cesaro.
I agree.
Surprised you all there, didn't I? You all thought I was going to say screw Cesaro.
I seriously thought you were going with Seth because I know
got it there. Got it
I
there.
thought you were going with Seth as well,
first
sis.
time
I was
first
reading
time
it
tonight.
on your face.
First time tonight, we're all unanimous. We are the Cesaro section. Simple as that.
Cesaro section.
Someone make a
Hey,
flashback from
hey,
WrestleMania. Anyway,
You remember this chant?
what?
Hey, Sheamus and Cesaro.
Yeah, I do remember that from a
Sheamus
small
and
brief time.
Cesaro.
Again, two of the most prime, hardworking men in the business.
We have one more match for night one, and I'm pretty sure Megan wants to talk about it.
That's what I was really about to go into. So let's get to the main event of night one because
Let's go ahead.
Talk about history. You talk about a match that truly could go either way. You talk about a match that's going to define women's wrestling at WrestleMania. Both these women absolutely deserve this. Not just because of where I'm a winner, but because of what we are going to see in this ring. And I know it's women's wrestling. I usually save it for last, but this one right here doesn't need to be a roundhouse discussion. This is all Megan's moment. Megan, we got Sasha Banks defending the SmackDown Women's Championship in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1 against Bianca Belair. The EST versus the BEST. Will the Boss finally have a WrestleMania moment in victory? Or will the streak continue and will we usher in the era of the EST? This truly could go either way. And honestly, this or Cesaro versus Seth, they're going to be challenging each other for match of the night. But this is your closing match of night one. What is in store for us? I can take it away.
Like so I'm gonna try and keep it short because, like I said, we've been going on for a while already. But even like just listening to you talk about it, my heart is like going like really fast just thinking about it. When I saw the announcement today, like I got tears in my eyes, like even just thinking about it. And like if I wasn't sitting around people, I probably would have cried. But there's just either way, no matter who wins, because at this point I really can't call it. I really honestly can't call who's gonna win because I can see obviously Sasha Banks has never picked up a win at Mania. It's kind of sad, and she does deserve it. But also Bianca Belair deserves everything that she's got this year, and I think she deserves the title as well. So either way, I'll be happy. I can see it going either way. One thing I really want to say to every single hater, to every single person that responded to my tweets saying that Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks do not deserve to main event WrestleMania, please enjoy the main event. Please enjoy the main event. Sit back, relax, enjoy the closing match of the show, because the women, not only are two women going to main event again, we have the first two female people of color that are going to main event WrestleMania. So not only is that such a big thing for people of color, but for women, but for people that support people of color, for people that support women, for everyone, every decent human being right now, we should all be celebrating this match, because not only is it so big for the world and for women's wrestling and the evolution of everything in life, and after everything that's happened this year, that is so important, but also it's gonna be so good. There's no way that you can sit and tell me that this match doesn't deserve to be the main event just based off the match alone, because everyone knows it's gonna be amazing. These guys are both gonna deliver, and whether the build has been where you've wanted it to be or not, you know the match is gonna deliver. Sasha Banks is the boss. She has worked so hard. She has such an amazing moveset, and Bianca Belair is so good. It's gonna be so entertaining, and honestly, enjoy the main event, everyone. That's what I have to say.
Eric, your rebuttal.
I hope Ryan Sand's crying.
I hope
Everyone is crying. I hope there's a big collection of people just crying. That would make me
Also,
day.
Ryan Sand, since he caused Sasha to get depressed after 2019's chaotic year.
Hey, you talk about a bounce back for Sasha Banks as well, and when she finally claimed her moment against Bayley at Hell in the Cell and has been running with this title.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Bayley did say she tried to extend the feud to WrestleMania, but they said, no, we're going to give it away now. So, Bayley, we know we appreciate you. Bayley, we appreciate you. We respect that you carried us through the pandemic along with Asuka, and all these other people. But we're going to tell you to go screw off and go back in catering for us. Okay, goodbye.
Well, that's just our anger towards Vince. That will be towards the lexicon of
yeah, but imagine who is probably uncomfortable about the mere idea of Sasha Belair main eventing, and he's the host. No, but we can't let PR disasters happen.
No, even you have to stop those, because again, that's your business partner. But again, I don't work for the company. Bottom line is this: Sasha, Bianca are going to steal the show with what they bring. I sense a new dynamic offered by both. Maybe Sasha channels Eddie Guerrero, goes full on heel because she can't stop Bianca Belair. Maybe Bianca Belair comes so frustrated in the fact that she comes so close. She doesn't know how to control her emotions, doesn't know how to capitalize, pulls off something ridiculous like a 630. I don't know what to expect. But again, this isn't about me. King, your thoughts on this match? Just thoughts, okay? At this point, this is truly a match to go either way. You give Bianca Belair the ultimate moment, or you give people what the bleep moment with Sasha finally getting her WrestleMania moment. And in my opinion, I believe many people believe Sasha Banks is the woman that most deserved to be in this spot and hasn't been, and it's finally happening. Again, I can pontificate on this all night. Case in point, why I set up Megan. Now I'm setting you up. Talk.
Two of the most talented women to ever step foot in a WWE ring is about to main event night one. God, I'm so proud of these women. Makes me want to cry. And like Megan, you touched on it, little sis. For those that want to complain on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, on all social media platforms, saying that this right here should not main event night one, I hope and pray that your night one opening match of Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, I hope y'all love it, because basically that doesn't deserve to be the main event. But
I think even Drew said he's content opening the show.
I mean, he really wants to be the first person to see people. That's all he wants.
Exactly.
Imagine if he comes out with his old theme song.
if that happens, if he comes out to Broken Dreams, you're going to see me mark out. But anyways, we'll discuss on a different topic.
Going off topic. Back to this.
Yep. Sasha deserves the win here, in my opinion, because she is the boss. She is the blueprint. She continues to be that blueprint. And I'm going to touch on what I said on episode 2 of Women's Wrestling. If y'all have not checked it out, go check it on episode 2 of Women's Wrestling with our host right here, Megan, who's hosting the show. Sasha, in my opinion, is one of my favorites, and basically has done everything that needs to be done in the WWE. I mean, heck, when she was in NXT, I thought she automatically claimed herself the legit boss. And I want to touch on what I said on episode 2. She hones her craft at Eddie Guerrero. This woman does not stop her grind. She wants to get better every single day. That's how much she loves her craft. She takes this sport with a passion. She takes this sport to the heart, and she wants to make everyone better and herself as well. Now, as far as Bianca am I concerned with, it's way too early to give the title to Bianca right now. Do I see Bianca being a women's champion? Of course I do. The girl is talented. I mean, heck, she's agile, she's skilled, and she's got the strength category in numbers. So,
and she has a hair whip.
Yes, and the hair whip.
Crack that whip.
Yep. But anyways, it is too early to give Bianca the title right now. Save that for down the road. Let Sasha continue on the reign, the dominant reign she has been showing herself and trying to prove to everybody that she is the legit boss, that she deserves to be up there as one of the greatest female wrestlers to ever step foot in the squared circle, and let her continue to be the longest, right? I will say let her get a touch of Bayley's record, but at least be tied, so that way you can tell if you want to do Sasha and Bayley again, you can paint another picture saying, okay, one of us has to break, each other's longest, total record reign, however you want to do it. So, but I say within closing, Sasha deserves her first Mania win. Enough said.
I don't think there has to be anything else said regarding what you basically pontificated. So with that being said, closing thoughts from either you, Casey, or Lex that have heard all of this.
I got one to say here. Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks main eventing. I think it's pretty damn awesome that they are main eventing WrestleMania because, for one, I was literally like, when they got announced for the main event, like, yeah. And I was like so pumped for them to get the main event because, to be honest with you, I think Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair are going to steal the show in the main event. That's going to be an instant classic match of the night because both of their gimmicks, when I look at it, they both had the same personality. Only one's known as the EST, the other one's known as the boss. Do I see a lot of trash talking coming in this match? Of course I do. Because, and I will say this, Sasha Banks, I expect her to channel a lot of Eddie Guerrero with the Free Migos and the Frog Splash. And I think both women are going to kick out at each other's finishers. It's literally going to be match of the night on night one because these two are both capable of stealing the show together. Because when you look at it, you got speed versus power in this match. Can Sasha Banks beat Bianca Belair in a strength game? Absolutely not. Can Bianca Belair beat Sasha Banks in a strength game? Yes, she can, and real easy. Does Sasha Banks beat Bianca Belair in speed? Yes, she does. And Bianca and Sasha, I mean, don't get me wrong. When I first seen Sasha Banks back in NXT in 2015, right? I instantly seen a star. I said, this woman is going to be a future star someday. It turns out I was right many years later. And Sasha and Bianca, it's got instant classic potential written all over it. And I think they're going to kick out at each other's finishers so many times that both of them are going to get frustrated. And because both of them have a never say quit attitude. But at the end of this match here, after they put up such an instant classic, I want Sasha Banks to prevail over Bianca Belair because I think, and don't get me wrong, I like both Bianca and Sasha, but I think it's too early to give Bianca Belair the SmackDown Women's title because she got there, and Bianca has a lot of charisma. And if you give a SmackDown Women's title to Bianca Belair, that's going to make it seem like she's being over pushed and people will easily get tired of her as champ. And give it time and let Sasha retain the SmackDown Women's title and let her pick up her first win at WrestleMania because Sasha is more deserving of a win at Mania than Bianca is. Let Bianca, I say, have her moment at SummerSlam when the time is right. When they do Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks 2 for the SmackDown Women's title.
One more thing to say. You certainly gave one hell of an idea for the future. Lex, closing thoughts on this match when we enter night 2.
All right. So to summarize everyone's take on this, to me, a fight is about who's left standing, nothing else. And these two will go to war at WrestleMania in the main event. Sasha Banks deserves this win because she never won any WrestleMania match of her career. And to me, having Bianca win is a premature, and she's too green right now. And we cannot deny that Bianca is the best athletic black woman there is, and the first ever black woman to ever win the Royal Rumble. But that being said, Sasha Banks needs to win this to prove herself that her curse, WrestleMania curse, could be broken through her win. I mean, this feud might even end up in a trilogy, possibly, in down the line. But that being said, that Sasha Banks needs to win, and if she wins, we'll get a rematch again some point. And that being said, she has done it all. She's been a Raw Women's Champion. She's been an NXT champion. She's been the tag team champion for women's and the current SmackDown. She accomplished all four of it, minus the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, because that's just implemented now. But we cannot deny that Sasha is the GOAT right now in this era of her career. I mean, she made the buzz everywhere, from Star Wars to Hot Ones, from other media. Her platform and her fan base is very big, and to see her to lose this match, it would be a disappointment for all of us. We need Sasha to win. As much as I am conflicted that I want Bianca to win, I want to give it to Sasha Banks, because Sasha Banks deserves this win as much as she needs it. Case in point, that's my take.
Yeah, I agree as well. Especially, I think Sasha's going to be the
Perfectly
next. I actually think Sasha's going to be the next major WWE star to go Hollywood. I'm like, Disney told her, okay, you're going to go in DDT Boba Fett.
She was involved in the freaking Star Wars franchise, one of the most profitable longevity franchises in all of entertainment history.
And she gets to be a Mandalorian and and had a chance to DDT Boba Fett.
Yep.
Tornado DDT.
Look, when you're that big of a draw, when you literally own yourself, and you already have this moniker that, oh, you're Snoop Dogg's cousin. So it's almost like you got that little bit of an asterisk next to you that you have to be up to some sort of expectation. And you surpass everything and every critic imaginable. Enough said. This is going to be one of a kind, tremendous. I just can't wait for the entrances. Because that sets the essence. That sets up the stage. And then the bell rings and we see how they engage. Good luck to both. Own this, own women's wrestling, own WrestleMania. But believe it or not, folks, we only are through night one, because guess what? They made WrestleMania a 2-night extravaganza. And I gotta be honest, I look at night one and I look at night two. The Bianca Sasha Banks match, Cesaro and Seth alone, those two together is enough of a WrestleMania for me. But there is at least one match that extremely intrigues and entices me.
Wait,
Eric has a quick thought.
Before we get to the match you're thinking of, we need to talk about the one match that's absolutely confusing. What the heck is a Nigerian drum fight?
Well, ironically, we're going to say that because you know we're going to talk about all of them. So let's go. Well, King's gone.
King's here.
Like, what the heck is that? Are they going to use drums?
Okay, so look, we've had a wrestling chain fight. We've had dog food. We've had a music as symphony of destruction, the Nigerian drum fight. Are we just gonna have people bashing drums at ringside, and then you're gonna have somebody throw through a drum, maybe a cymbal over somebody's head? And this is the 5th time now Apollo Crews, under this Nigerian royalty character, is challenging Big E's Intercontinental Championship. If he doesn't win the title here, the damn guy is buried and might as well go back to catering. But you gotta put a stigma on this that makes me believe the champ's gotta retain, because this is Big E's first ever big time singles WrestleMania moment. This is beyond stupid. But I digress. I have nothing else to say on this match.
Here's the thing. They could save this match if they had it in them to make this cinematic and just go all Black Panther on us.
Yeah, go Wakanda. Go fight in front of a friggin' waterfall or something. This is beyond stupid. Buffer, Bathroom break.
Hey, Bombay.
What in the blue hell
Hold up.
is a Nigerian
Hold up.
drum fight? King, you're next.
Hold up. I just looked it up on Wrestle Talk of what the Nigerian fight is supposed to be about.
Oh God.
This was
Is
the report.
it the worst case scenario?
Oh, Eric, I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Talk to us.
The rules of the WrestleMania 37 Nigerian drum fight between Big E and Apollo Crews have been clarified in a new report. Big E and Apollo Crews are set to clash for WrestleMania 37. A new report has discussed this in the championship match, outlining the rules of a Nigerian drum fight. As per the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, this bout will essentially be held as qualifications match. The general idea of the match is reportedly that the strikes will be so loud it will sound like a drum. Here is the full quote. The rules were explained as being an anything goes match. The idea is you're supposed to beat the other guy with punches and kicks so loud it sounds like a drum. Yeah.
Why not just call it a strike fight?
Okay.
I hope someone gets hit with a drum, actually.
Yeah, hit someone with a drumstick. Maybe I'll actually believe it
Same
sounds like
here.
a drum.
No.
Guys,
Let-
I think
no,
we
like
should
an
just wait
actual
till
drum.
the match.
What is this?
I think we
Basic-
just
basic fighting with amplified microphones. Megan, your take.
Your
I
take.
think we just don't talk about takes, and we just move on and see what happens, because one, no one knows what's going on. Two, I don't think anyone cares. I just whatever.
Yeah, again, I like to try and keep the matches basic unless someone actually has something intriguing to say, not some long justification. I have my rant because again, it's a souped up anything goes match with dumb effects to make it seem bigger than it absolutely isn't.
It will probably be a good match because it has Big E in it anyway.
A Big E's a great worker, don't get me
He's gonna
wrong.
have a music entrance.
Wait. Here's my take on Nigerian drum fight. Is this your king?
We already said that.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
still, yeah.
All right, I
Well,
don't
at
think
least Big
anything
E's
else.
gonna have a musical performance intro.
Right. Now, and we know how live music performances have been a detriment to multiple WWE superstars over the years, especially champions. Randy Orton, WrestleMania 30. Megan, you literally said it. Ronda Rousey, WrestleMania 35. Just saying.
I was there for
Snoop
CM
Dogg.
Punk.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great match too, by the way. I enjoyed that.
Also,
quite-
Bray Wyatt had a music performance.
and he lost to John Cena back at WrestleMania 30.
Then
So
he got
live-
revenge 6 years later.
So let me get this straight. Live musical performance, Big E's walking in as champion, gimmick, and Apollo Crews becoming the champion. Moving on. I can only hope this means Big E will finally break out and move forward towards the world title picture, because the Intercontinental title is supposed to be that gateway. I know, Eric, I'm crazy, but hey, I could be optimistic, right? I'm only human after all. I'm not a robot. I sometimes wonder if Vince is, but I digress.
The only robot.
Four.
The only robot is Charlotte. That's it.
Okay,
She's not
stop. Time out. We cannot
She's not
criticize her because for once, she is not involved in WrestleMania.
True.
Appreciate it.
True.
Okay,
That's
Thank
true.
God.
let's move on.
Let's
Move
move
on.
on because Casey don't even want to talk
Move
about
on
this
to
nonsense,
another.
Okay, he's got better things to deal with. Moving on. Next match, I got one word for you. Riddle versus Sheamus for the United States Championship. Again, Sheamus going after the wrong title for the Grand Slam. Sheamus, one of the most consistent workers again in the WWE, yet to have that big time WrestleMania main event moment in his career. Unbelievable. Am I actually
Okay.
supposed to believe that Riddle is going to lose the United States Championship here when Vince McMahon clearly favors the guys to the point he hasn't botched his own line intentionally? Someone make me think differently.
Me,
Logically.
I'll give you one. I'll do it. I have a very good point, a thought, a prediction, a theory. Let me live in fantasy land where I can book stuff and it would really come true. What if they wanted to recreate a magical moment that happened back in the first WrestleMania I was ever allowed to stay up and watch live? We just have Sheamus bro kick Matt Riddle and end the fight in like 30 seconds, and then we can just move on to another match. That'd be fantastic. Just end it with a
That
bro
was,
kick.
that was 18 seconds, and it involved a kiss before it happened. So
Yep.
Okay, but Riddle could just flick the flip flops, get a bro kick, and be done. Move on. That would be
No,
ideal
Megan,
situation.
Megan. There's one thing that needs to be added if that did happen. They should go ahead and copy AEW's camera, show him at the bottom, like, bro, that was a rush.
As long as they get rid of the birds.
He forgets that happens because he got stoned with Rob Van Dam backstage ahead of the match.
Just get rid of the birds, please. Someone get rid of the birds.
Yeah. Okay. When I saw that, I was like, are they trying to top Birdemic?
What is this, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse?
Yeah, someone explain to me how the birds, and you guys already know I'm horribly against the virtual reality graphic nonsense that no one else sees. Okay?
I don't get why adding CGI.
Wait. As an animation major in digital arts, that thing is a hokey pokey shit of a production shit.
I mean, like, has anyone heard of Birdemic?
Hey, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. That's an insult to my field, okay? As an artist, as a animation major, that CGI is poorly, and I could make better CGI than what WWE could do.
I know I'm about to go off topic here, but let's be real. Watch Food Fight or watch a Birdemic clip, and then you'll want to cry yourself to sleep.
There you go.
Wait. Link me that one.
Or,
Link me that one in the chat.
Or just take it up with Kevin Dunn since he might have messed with the with his teeth.
Honestly, I don't know if Kevin Dunn knows. I don't know if Kevin Dunn knows what virtual reality is. And it's not the ugliest thing. It's not like the giant life-size Lacey Evans figure.
Hey guys, this is what Kevin Dunn did.
That actually might be accurate. I have no idea. Okay, so basically, we're all against the bro, even though it's inevitable he's going to hold on to the title. Moving on. By the way, one more thing before I say, why is Sheamus hunched over as if he's stalking the man in the graphic? Can someone explain that?
It's so funny.
And by the way, before we move on, Sheamus is bringing back his famous faux hawk for WrestleMania.
Oh, if only he brought back his actual theme that we cared about that nobody knows.
I know. I thought you were gonna say he's bringing back his theme. I got excited.
Wish he was.
It's a shame for thing.
Hey, copyright. Too many lines. Okay, moving on. We're getting too deep into this match to the point where almost as high. We're getting too deep in this match to the point we're almost as high as Matt Riddle. Moving on. And I'm straight at
1 second. Even though I want Sheamus to win here, but I'm picking Matt Riddle to retain the U.S. title. I rest my case.
Moving on. Oy vey. Okay, Megan, just sum this up for me. Tag team turmoil. Do we have new tag champs?
Absolutely not. Because
does anyone have?
No, let me take this time. I promise that for the next few matches, I'll be short. If we can allow me to just.
We only got 3 left after this, and actually one of them matters particularly. But continue.
And I'll keep the others short. If you could just let me for just 2 seconds, educate the world in the fact that Shayna Baszler is the GOAT. We all know. Nia Jax needs to disappear.
We all know that.
We don't have to see them anymore. And the whole of night 2 is going to be very disappointing in terms of the women's division because none of these matches should be taking place because everyone deserves better and this is all crap. But Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are going to retain. Hopefully Reginald can just be, beaten up a lot and Shayna can not say Reginald again. Anyone that watches SmackDown will know what I'm talking about.
Meg, is this about time to tell you that I'm now starting to fear they're going to do a love triangle?
Don't you dare.
Oh, no.
Dramatic Reaver.
No.
I went there.
No.
I need holy water.
Glasses off. Megan's triggered. Oh, shoot.
Eric.
Okay, I know what to do. I know what to do in this situation.
Her sister is triggered. She's triggered.
Guys,
Give it to us, Megs.
Let me
Laying it out.
Let me diffuse the situation. Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax tag team should come to an end, but it will not happen at WrestleMania due to reasons. Simple as that.
Listen, Shayna is not going to lose at WrestleMania with Nia Jax because they're going to keep pushing this stupid tag title thing. But when it ends, when we can finally put this to rest, hopefully Rhea will be Raw Women's Champ or Asuka, either one, I don't mind, so that Shayna can finally finish up the history she has with them, hopefully in the triple threat, which should have been the match at WrestleMania. Because think about it, Shayna has history with Asuka. We still haven't got this one-on-one match with Asuka that we should have got from Elimination Chamber last year. Think about it. They built that, and we still haven't got that moment that we deserve. Also, Rhea and Shayna Part 2, I'd love to see Shayna actually win this. But all I'm saying is there was a match made there, and they let it go. They let it go because Nia and Reginald are apparently more important than Shayna and her iconic NXT dominant title reign that, you know, we just forget that happened because now Shayna's doing TikToks and involved in love triangles with Reginald. But
get your blood pressure in order before I call Dr. Shelby. All I'm gonna say, all I'm gonna say in counter argument is if they give Naomi her hometown moment, it truly could cause Shayna. Let me talk to you. It truly could cause Shayna to snap, and she could break Reginald in half, letting Nia Jax pick up the fallen pieces of her new boyfriend on her own. And Shayna Baszler goes on to try and dominate the division by herself. You are the freaking person that wants Shayna Baszler to be a solo star. And you're telling me you still want this love triangle impending to continue because you want Shayna to still have that wrap around her waist. You are by far the most fickle WWE fan I have ever had the pleasure to conversate with. And I'm the
you want to give Lana a title. You
Shayna.
want to hand over that title that Shayna has worked so hard to make relevant. You're going to give it to Lana.
They don't mean that shit. NXT proved that when Adam Pearce did not let Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez win those titles. We have gone way off topic. The bottom line,
Shayna has worked
Shayna
too hard
needs to drop
this year.
the title. Shayna needs to
Shayna
drop
has
the
worked
title.
too hard this year to make those titles relevant. You cannot tell me that Shayna and Nia's title reign has not been the most important title reign that these tag titles have ever had. And you want to give a stupid
was more
title to
important
Lana.
than this, and they were showcased as a comedy act because Payne and Billy are more over than Nia Jax and her whole whatever will be.
Okay, all I'm saying is it's not time at WrestleMania. The night after WrestleMania was ended. But I don't think it's time because I don't want you to have a loss. If you give the title to Lana, I
WrestleMania
will
should be
lose
the
it.
time. It's the grandest stage of them all. You want a moment to happen.
Anyone else? You do not give that title to Lana. If Lana leaves WrestleMania with the title, I swear you
Lana deserves this title. Lana deserves no other title but this one. Because Naomi will be working with her. Yes, she does. She was the sole survivor at Survivor Series. Naomi and Lana legitimately seem to have a friendship. This has to be what happens at WrestleMania. Because Naomi, no. Nobody else in this match deserves the title and the moment more than Naomi. She deserves it more than Nia Jax in her home. She deserves it more than Lana. And she deserves it more than Shayna Baszler. Because Shayna Baszler does not need to continue to be a tag team partner with Nia Jax. And you know it.
No, because let me tell you why. Because I think the Riot Squad or Natty and Tamina can take the tag titles. Nia Jax and Lana can go in the love triangle with Reggie because they both like TikTok. Naomi and Shayna could go back to being the
TikTok
wrestlers.
is the worst thing this generation, and I stand by that. Nia Jax and Shayna need to stop being a thing.
Nia Jax and
No.
Lana.
This
Nia Jax
conversation is done.
and Lana.
We
Nia
need to
Jax
move
and
forward.
Lana.
We
Put
need to
them
move
together.
forward.
Nia Jax Lana.
Order in the court.
Shayna.
Order in the court.
We need to move
Order in the
forward.
court.
Order in the chat. Order in the
Order in
chat.
the court.
I am officially closing the case on the tag titles. That
Oh
don't
my
matter.
God.
The match should not be
Oh my
happening.
God.
Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler
Okay.
go off
Is
on
it safe?
TikTok and
Is it
do
safe to
something
show
else.
up?
Oh
Hey,
my
Is it
God.
safe to show up?
Hey,
Nia Jax
oh,
and
moving
Lana.
on.
Go back to TikTok.
Moving on.
Is it
Nikki,
Screw
safe to show
Shayna,
up?
TikTok.
and
wait,
Screw
Naomi.
TikTok.
So,
Screw
Oh my
TikTok
God.
and screw Nia Jax and her hole and screw these two as women tag team
Lana.
champions. And Reginald
Order in the
can go
court,
straight
order in
up
the court,
Nia
order in the
Jax's
court.
hole for all I care.
Order in the
Oh,
court.
okay,
Order in the
okay,
court.
look.
Order in the
Hey
court.
guys, you're
Look,
gonna make
Order
me die
in
of
the
laughing.
court.
You're gonna
God
make me
damn it.
die.
Come
I'm
back
gonna
in.
Hey,
die.
Now,
hey.
let's get
Wait,
back
wait,
on
wait,
track.
wait.
Let's get back
Let
on
me
track.
let me answer this.
Make it
My
quick.
match, day 2 for the women's tag team championships.
Oh man.
Oh,
That's it.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
You said come
Oh.
back.
Oh.
Justice for
Master
Naomi
Chief.
and Shayna.
Oh.
Master Chief,
Oh.
I love Master Chief, by the way. Shout out to
Oh.
Halo. Eric, you are safe to come back
Oh.
onto the bunker.
Okay,
Oh.
I got special protection in case a nuclear holocaust occurs. Hold on.
There you go.
Now nothing can hurt me.
All right.
Can we please move on? Can we please move on? This is gonna get so many thumbs downs, and I don't give a damn. Moving
Justice
on.
for Naomi and Shayna.
I like to state for the record that I caused World War III on here.
Yes, you did. And then Megan and I took it to the stratosphere. Now let's move on.
Handshake, Noah, bro. We did good.
Yeah, we did good. You and I can make a great debate team if you and I didn't argue all the dang time. Moving on. Okay, we got 2 matches
Noah
left
and
after that.
hey.
Nuclear-
Wait. Let me speak on this. Megan and Noah's rant is better than Godzilla versus Kong. That's it.
Okay, so which one am I? Am I Godzilla or am I King Kong?
Megan is Godzilla. You're King Kong, Noah.
Okay, so I don't.
Megzilla.
I gotta see the movie now. So King Kong has to win.
Uh,
Okay. Moving on.
all right.
Absolutely not.
All right.
Yes, yes,
Here's what-
yes, he does.
Here's one
Megzilla
thing I
and
got.
Noah Kong.
Here's one thing I gotta say about Megan and Noah's rant. They fight like an old married couple. That sounded like an old
Excuse me?
married couple. Go
No, you're taking
That's
this way
what
too
it
far.
sounded like.
Okay, we're on the other side of the world. This is nothing but a
It-
chat that went into a
That
rant
sounded like
for no real reason
that's-
whatsoever. Okay,
that sounded
A
like
sibling
an old
rivalry.
married couple. That an argument so loud that it wakes the neighbors up out
I
of their
feel
dead
like-
of
No.
Guys,
night.
it might
No,
wake
no.
my neighbors up. It's
No,
5
no,
a.m.
no,
over
no.
here. Maybe I
there's a
shouldn't
good
be
thing
doing
my
that.
mom's downstairs asleep.
No, this is like 2 siblings like freaking tearing each other apart, like fighting for which last chicken is in the table, who gets it.
It's just like
Oy.
this is like
What-
little
what-
brother
Megan,
and big.
Megan, what did you and I
This is
do?
what-
What did you and I just do for the last 15 minutes?
Hey
Wait-
guys, you
wait a minute.
just caused World War III.
Wait
That's
a
it.
minute. Wait a minute. There's Noah and Megan reminded me of Big Brother and Little Sis. After the big brother, after the little sis wants the last cookie right in the jar, and the
Oy.
big brother eats the
Oh my
last
God,
cookie,
what the hell?
and all of a sudden, Noah makes
Yeah, the only thing, the only thing I wonder at this point, how much of that audio was completely disrupted by y'all's insane laughter and Eric blaming Master Chief? Anyway.
That was awesome.
The
That was
argument-
awesome.
Dude, me, King, and Casey were laughing as hell, and we couldn't contain our laughter because
We
you
could-
guys are just.
No,
That
You-
right
you-
there reminded me of the Great Khali and Umaga segment. That was basically
Can
great.
I be great?
Yeah.
Carly?
Yeah, but
I'll take
Megan,
Umaga. I'll take Umaga. That's fine. Freaking Intercontinental
Okay,
Champion.
No, you'll be forgotten, and I won't know him for 2 years,
That-
sadly.
you know. Oh, I got one. I got one.
Wait, what
That
did you say?
reminded
Hey,
me-
Megan and Noah, what did you say? You are.
She's Great Khali. I'm Umaga.
Except the
this
Great Khali is
reminds me-
remembered by WWE more than Umaga,
This
sadly.
reminds me.
Yeah.
This reminds me of something.
All
You
right.
This
manga?
reminded me
Manga.
of. This reminded me of when Paul Heyman and JR used to go at it
Oh,
on
the
commentary.
Okay, I'm definitely
and
JR.
Jack-
Like, kiss my ass.
and Megan is Paul Heyman. I mean, no offense, Megan. And
I take it. Paul Heyman's cool. I'm a Paul
And
Heyman.
I
guy.
mean,
reminds
I respect
me-
Paul Heyman. JR,
Paul
Paul
Heyman.
Heyman, great
Paul
great
Heyman girl.
commentary team.
and you remember that moment where
When he
Paul
talked about
Heyman
when he
got
talked about Stone Cold going off the bridge, he's like, "Ain't not a damn thing you can do about it." And it's like, I love that rant. Paul Heyman protecting Kurt Angle. Oh yeah, you're mine. And he's like, "No, I'm not." Well, again, guys, we are way off topic, and believe it or not,
Yeah,
there's
we
still
should.
Yeah.
4 matches left. Can we please move forward?
yeah,
Oh, my
please.
head. Look at
Can
that.
we not talk about the Raw Women's title unless you want me to go off again?
You wanna
Never
go
mind.
down, too?
Oh no, my lungs. I don't know how much more my
But
lungs.
don't worry,
Good,
don't worry.
all
We're
that
going to talk
last.
about that right now. We're going to talk about the rivalry that seems to never end. But who the fuck is Logan Paul? Anyway,
Oh, stop, man. I
Kevin
don't wanna
Owens,
watch
Sami
this.
Zayn,
I don't
Kevin
even
Owens,
wanna
jump
talk
off the
about
pirate
that.
ship, win it. That's all I got to say. I'm making this
Look,
short, sweet, and
look.
simple.
I know how to
Yeah,
respond to this.
I got KO, and it's gonna
Look,
probably
look,
be
I know,
weird.
I know how to respond to this
I
whole
got Kevin
debacle.
Owens over
Look,
Sami
Kevin
Zayn.
Owens and Sami Zayn is an iconic feud that has been ruined by Logan Paul. As such, I suggest we protect ourselves through cringe.
Execute Order 66.
Oh, let me.
That's
That was an
Let
actually
me
good
take
movie.
shelter
Rise of
too.
Skywalkers was terrible in my opinion.
I'm not going to
Uh-oh.
argue that. Does anyone else have anything to say regarding Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn?
Kevin Owens is gonna win. That's it. Case point, and that's it.
James?
Look,
All right.
okay, here's
All
the
right.
honest truth. Look, here's the honest truth. After Kevin Owens destroys Sami Zayn, I'm pretty sure they're going to recreate the forest with Sami Zayn being unconscious and Logan Paul laughing at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
And then Logan
conspiracy.
Paul will rant about it on his YouTube channel because that's the only way he got here.
Yep. So, yep, I got Kevin Owens winning. Logan Paul, I'll see you in a few months in Las Vegas when you get knocked out by Floyd Mayweather in a discussion.
If only.
Love that.
All right.
Let's move on.
Yes.
Okay,
Quick
let's move on
second.
from that.
I-
From the
I picked
destruction of an iconic feud that
I
definitely needed that Logan Paul.
Right, because
sympathy.
two great wrestlers can't have a great wrestling match on their own on the
I
greatest stage of
still
all.
say they should just went out on a microphone and just shot at each other with fire on it.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
go
I agree
2010
with
on
100%.
them.
I agree with 100%.
here's one thing I say. I picked Kevin Owens over Sami Zayn. End of discussion.
All right, there you go. Kevin Owens for
There you
the
go.
win. Kevin
Score.
Owens deserve it. Kevin Owens, God bless you. Please survive the jump off the
Oh,
pirate.
I just got it. How about this? The match ends in no contest, and they both beat up Logan Paul.
Guys, I don't know
I'd
about
be
the
fine
pirate
with
ship
that.
thing. Have you seen the set? The pirate
Yeah.
ship
Yes.
is like behind.
And
don't
I
think he
still
was jump off
say
that.
Kyrie Sane should have been the host.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no
I
argument
agree.
there.
Oh, no doubt.
There's no
Perfectly
argument there.
agree.
There's no argument there. I dare someone to
But
argue.
yeah, I don't think he could jump off that. So I don't think we're getting that spot this year.
I honestly don't know what Kevin Owens is going to jump off of because, to my knowledge, this isn't a no disqualification match either. This is a standard match. So
Yeah.
what is he going to do? I guess
Who
we'll have to
knows?
wait and see.
Okay.
But moving on. All right. Well, Megan, guess what? Let's start you off with this. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley has this moment because
Why?
I
Here we
said
go.
so. Rhea Ripley got
Oh.
this moment because,
Oh.
yeah, she had a great run in NXT. Raquel Gonzalez so bumped her out of the brand. Hold your thought. And then originally, it was supposed to be Charlotte versus Asuka, but God bless her. Hope she's okay. Charlotte got COVID-19. Yes, I said YouTube. Then originally,
what
it was
about the
supposed to
original
be
plan with
versus
Lacey
Charlotte
Evans?
at the Elimination Chamber because Lacey Evans was supposed to watch. Lacey Evans was actually supposed to be in Asuka Elimination Chamber, but Lacey Evans, God bless her and her child, she's pregnant. Congratulations. That's beautiful, growing a family. What weird circumstances for Asuka literally having no legitimate competition because Raw decided to book people, like Shayna Baszler, in dumb mixed tag team feuds, building no single stars, only to give Peyton Royce a single exhibition on Monday Night Raw after a great promo on Raw Talk. And I thought she had a pretty good match. Again, you have potential. They need to tap into it. They need to book their talent and push their talent better. And also Nikki Cross, who hasn't been revisited with Asuka since NXT, just waiting somewhere in catering, trying to do everything she can because this is what she loves, or the business don't love her back. So what do I see here? Well, let me talk to you. Last year, Rhea Ripley took on Charlotte Flair for the NXT Women's Championship in the opener of WrestleMania Night 2. Guess who won? Charlotte Flair. Most people believe that was due to a V-Sync issue, and people believe Rhea Ripley deserved that moment. But it didn't happen. So what do? You revitalize that moment in front of 25,000 people where Asuka has legitimately beaten everybody, booked as a single, on the Monday Night Raw roster, and you reset the Raw roster outlook with Rhea Ripley at the forefront. Now,
but you have to consider this. You have to consider this, Noah. You have to consider this. Asuka has not yet won at WrestleMania, unfortunately, because politicking.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's going to continue. Yeah, I know. Vince is an idiot. I know that. And that's why I feel it's going to continue. I feel they're going to give Rhea Ripley her moment that she didn't get last year. Megan, you can rant, you can yell, you can do whatever the hell you want and say any name you want outside Shayna Baszler. But the bottom line is this. These are the two you're dealing with. And one of them, after this is done, will start off the new era of Monday Night Raw as the women's champion. You either continue with Asuka, who has nothing, or you try and rebuild this division with a new face in Rhea Ripley. Now you may speak.
Let me channel my inner Jinder Mahal and my Shanti, and let's keep calm.
Yeah.
We'll not rant today. But I've said this from the beginning that this match should not be happening. I've got to a point where the Raw Women's division is honestly failing so bad. And I know everyone wants Io Shirai to go to SmackDown because it'll be better for her. But in terms of the actual Raw division, in terms of WWE as a whole, Raw needs Io Shirai. Raw needs more superstars that are actually going to be able to build a division around. Because, Asuka's beaten everyone. She hasn't beaten Shayna, but it's okay. We'll move on.
We'll move on.
The thing is, either you can book it two ways, because I can see this going either way, because WWE lack any brain cells. So you can say Rhea Ripley's a more logical option, but they don't follow logic. So really, I can see it going either way. You either have Asuka that's going to win, right? And Asuka wins, and in my fantasy world, Asuka and Shayna finally get this title, this title run that has been brewing for over a year now. So we still haven't had this big feud that should have, and even like a few weeks ago, not like they just completely forgot about it. They really brought it up a few weeks ago with Shayna knocking out her teeth, and then all that crazy stuff that happened. But they just dropped it again because logic. What's that?
What is logic? Baby, don't hurt me. The next song by Weird Al Yankovic.
There's an opportunity for Asuka to win and still have a plan moving forward if we can get rid of Nia Jax and Reginald, which could happen if Shayna and Nia loses the titles. There is
now you finally are speaking with sense.
But there is a slight way that this could work for Asuka to win. But also Rhea rebuilding the division would work very well. But the problem is that the second you made Asuka the champion in May last year, what happened? We were screwed because the division is so flat. What happens when Rhea then becomes champ? The division is still flat. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed except for Rhea has been added. So you give Rhea the title. What happens in a month, 2 months? The division is so boring that after a while, everyone's going to get bored of Rhea, and that scares me. I think, we're going to talk about Bianca Belair maybe it being too soon. I don't necessarily agree with the too soon thing, mainly because Paige stepped into WWE on her first night and won the Divas Championship, and no one ever got bored of her. So I don't think that the too soon thing does come into play here, but I just worry that people will get bored of her because the division is flat. If we have a superstar shake-up, if things happen, either way, we could look to rebuild a women's division. But this match just kind of feels like a lose-lose situation here, because I don't think that unless something big happens, like someone returns or someone else gets called up from NXT, something needs to happen, because it's not just a case of building the division around one of these two women anymore, because there is no division to build around them, if that makes sense. I'd like to see Rhea win, but Asuka has not had the reign she deserves. And no, I don't care what anyone says. Asuka may have been champ for a long time, but she did not get the title reign that she deserved. But I do think we do need a change, and I am going to go for Rhea Ripley.
Well, again, Asuka has not had a legitimate opponent to face her one-on-one, title or non-title, since Sasha Banks at Survivor Series. And during that time afterwards, you had Alexa Bliss, which was pushing a match that we're going to talk about next. You also had Pam Roach, who had a short exhibition, hasn't been seen since. And you had Nikki Cross, who has yet to clash with Asuka during her title reign. both times. And I get it. You don't want to build a division around one woman, but this is WWE. And again, what is logic? Maybe don't hurt me. So you can only hope that Raw does try and find the receptive division. Maybe break up these mixed tag teams. Maybe try and build and groom new superstars. Again, I'm crazy to think that, I know. But eventually WWE, wake me up and tell me that you actually have some sense to make Raw women's wrestling actually matter again. Even if you do have John Laurinaitis behind it. Otherwise, you might as well not even have a women's division. Eric,
Okay,
next about this match.
Okay, Noah, I have some unfortunate news to tell you, but you missed an opportunity to say this.
Uh-oh.
You could have done a song of Wake Me Up Inside. We're saying, wake up the passion inside when you were making that quote.
Fair enough. In that sense, yeah, but I don't want to get a copyright strike. I'm already off my rail, so it don't matter.
But
it doesn't matter.
Here's what I think they might do, though I feel like it's still a lose-lose situation for Asuka and Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
There is rumors that she's coming back. Asuka wins, gets her Mania victory, and then we build Becky versus Asuka for the match that never got to happen officially between them for the Money in the Bank thing.
I feel like ever since Becky gave Asuka the title due to her pregnancy, congratulations on the child, Raw truly lost all sense of direction.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing.
Yeah,
WWE doesn't care about Asuka like they claim they do because she's not a proud American. She's not waving the flag. That's just my conspiracy theory.
How disappointing when you look back to WrestleMania last year. We had Shayna and Becky and that amazing feud. And now we look to a match that's had no build and everything is just sad.
She just shows up and straight up challenges her and Asuka says, I accept. Nice build.
Yeah, but that's simple. You're going simple. We need complexity or overly stupid nonsense to fill in all this. So they're going to propose, let's get Reginald involved.
Stop with Reginald!
We saw how that played out, where clearly Rhea just tried to weaken her opponent. And even the WrestleMania graphic makes Rhea look like a complete
why
guys,
did
can
they
I
do that?
hey, guys,
like
can
even
I
McIntyre's
guys, can I ask a question? How many matches are we gonna cover before we go? I have to push in my predictions fast because I have to go down.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I think we've basically hit our time limit, going in overtime. So, Lex, quick thoughts. Rhea, Asuka, who you got?
I'm conflicted actually. Rhea's too green right now. It's too early to give her the title, so I'll give it to Asuka first.
Yeah, simple enough. There's only 2 matches left, and we honestly don't know if one's going to be a match. And then we want to talk about the match of potentially the show. So,
I'm gonna. We haven't covered the 2 matches at the Fiend versus Randy Orton and the Triple Threat, right?
Yeah,
okay,
I feel like at this point, there's nothing else to say about the Raw Women's Division besides let's make it great again without politics.
Wait. Let me predict mine fast before I tease out here. For the Fiend versus Randy Orton, the Fiend, of course, and the Triple Threat. That being said, Edge. My pick is Edge.
That's simple enough, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Enough training. See you tomorrow night for WrestleMania or later today. Hey, folks, welcome to Saturday.
All right, Lex.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, buddy.
All right, Eric, I'm gonna let you start.
Buddy.
I'm gonna let you start off this conversation because you have tried to tie together all sorts of fiction and universes with an incredibly creative mind, as King's phone just went because they don't know either. Literally, as we look towards, botch. You can tell how tired I am and how much of a rant I'm on regarding women's wrestling on Raw. With that being said, Casey King, real quick. Asuka, Rhea, who takes it at WrestleMania, even though we have no idea what waits on Raw?
All right. Asuka, with Asuka and Rhea match going on. Even though I want Asuka to win this match, but my pick is on Rhea Ripley here because you don't know where WWE is going to do. I mean, even though I disagree with Rhea winning because it would be too soon and people would get easily bored of Rhea if she wins the Raw Women's title. but I can see them making a big mistake by going with Rhea Ripley here. So I'm using my intelligence for once here, and I'm picking Rhea Ripley over Asuka.
I just
Game
realized
King-
something.
Go ahead, King.
Where do I start with this? All right, let's just go like this. If you wanted to have Rhea Ripley in the plans before the whole Charlotte thing, as my phone went down again, if you wanted Rhea to be in the plans, why not just have her show up on Raw the next night after the Royal Rumble when she was the runner-up? Well, no, after Bianca made her decision. You could have just had Rhea Ripley show up on Raw after Bianca made her decision, and at least had about a few week build that get us like sink our teeth into. Because to be honest, like y'all said, Rhea just showed up, challenge accepted. I mean, what kind of build is that? To me, that's lazy booking. That's lazy women's division booking at its finest by people power, John Laurinaitis. And
I agree. People power.
Bruce Pritchard himself. I mean, these three, I just want women's wrestling to be great again, but these three old farts don't know what women's wrestling is. It's
Exactly right.
And I just realized something about this match.
What up?
It features everything Vince hates. 1, foreigners. 2, tattoos.
But also, Eric, when you look at it, and I don't know if it's me noticing or everybody else in agreement, but I feel that Rhea has been overproduced. I mean by overproduced is basically Vince is grooming her up to be like a Charlotte Flair 2.0. She's blonde, she's basically tall, but the only difference is that Rhea's got tattoos. Charlotte probably has some tattoos, but it's not noticeable like Rhea's. But she's overproduced when it comes to booking, just like Charlotte. That's just me. I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, because look at last year's WrestleMania. Can you not tell how overproduced she was to be exactly on that same booking as Charlotte, tick for tack? It was exactly at that same booking level. And I have a fear, and I want Rhea to win. That's why I got Rhea winning. But also, I am so freaking scared of what they're going to do with Rhea after she wins the women's championship for Raw. Are they really going to go down the Charlotte route?
I don't think so. I think if Becky is in fact returning, Rhea will be on borrowed time again.
Oh, no doubt, because Becky and Charlotte will always be above everybody else in Vince's eyes.
Exactly right.
A women's division,
Money.
whether joint or separate. Good thoughts. All right, so I think we talked enough about women's wrestling, and hopefully we can pray, literally, that WWE does redefine it in a more respectable way, especially on the red brand, because the blue brand, not as bad, thankfully.
Yeah.
Then again,
Sorry.
Let's all pray for Raw after Mania. Raw after Mania is always that big night, and let's pray something big happens.
It usually is something that has to be unpredictable that happens, but again, it's also back in the Thunderdome, so your guess is as good as mine. Let's move on now. Eric, I want you to lead this conversation because this screams narrative, but again, the two men, they just want to work in the ring. It's no doubt that we all are in agreement here. The Fiend has to go over. But what sort of outlook do you want to see from, hopefully could be, for the love of God, the final chapter, for me anyway, of Randy Orton versus The Fiend? Take it away.
Okay. The Fiend and Orton have a long history, especially when it comes to emotion, murder, attempted murder, arson, punk kick to the head, so many attempted murder angles. And I'm trying to wonder how on earth Vince doesn't seem to get that that's blood and guts. And yeah, he seems to not get that, but that's beside the point. I'm pretty sure. And when Orton went ahead and said, I have to destroy the Fiend and whatnot, I was like, dude, You tried to burn the Undertaker, that failed, and you went through Hell in a Cell. You tried burning the Fiend 3 times, that failed miserably. What's left? I'm like, at this point, you could do the Baron Corbin approach, throw him off a building, he'll just come back mysteriously. You could do all the Baron Corbin murder angles like he did last year in 2020, because that was a weird fetish Vince was doing at the time.
Yeah.
And it would just not work. The Fiend will just keep coming back. He will keep coming back. So Orton has only one option. He has to convert into a face at the hands of the Fiend. Like, let's be real. The Fiend has to have that characteristic where he changes people. Everyone he's fought have been all heroes and one being a crybaby, but that's Seth Rollins' lifestyle choice.
Good point.
No offense, Megan. She's silent.
Because you're not wrong and she's not saying anything.
Yeah, but they all turned heel. But someone in the Thunderdome said that they were told boo Randy Orton, and I was like, but why? I'm like, granted, he's attempting arson and emulsion again because he doesn't get that the supernatural can't be killed with fire. But I'm thinking, why are we supposed to cheer for the Fiend all of a sudden and boo Orton? Like, if this was just the crowd, normal crowd, they'd be cheering for Bray Wyatt because he's doing all this hard work. But why? Nothing indicated that Orton was a face here. In fact, he's more heelish than ever, except he doesn't have his sadistic side. So either if Bray Wyatt wins and he beats him, he's either going to turn face or he's going to go back to 2009 Orton and shave his hair.
I wouldn't mind seeing the shave Orton that went full on mental versus what we've seen lately to really take over the WWE in his own way to the point he became WWE champion. 2009 was a good year for him. Very interesting character development.
And I still feel it should have been a Firefly Funhouse match. Like, let's be honest. That's the only way I thought it was going to work. And I thought that was the end game, even regardless if there was going to be a crowd or not, because they like Wyatt. They like his hard work and creativity. I'm sure they would have enjoyed just sitting through watching a motion picture, essentially. But here's the thing I would have laughed at. Like, let's be real. Triple H is trapped in Wyatt versus world since we haven't seen him since. John Cena is presumed either tortured mentally there. No offense, Megan. I know Cena's your favorite. So it would have been easy to get Cena and Triple H to like, hey, could you come in and do this little scene for the Firefly Funhouse since, Wyatt kidnapped you guys? So you could do this thing with Orton and torture Orton to no end. And then we could trap him there and have him in this reverse limbo state where he's just going to be constantly going through the same torture for eons until he comes back and becomes sadistically crazier.
Okay, that's about it. His head, but facing them too, literally ghosts and events of his past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird to me. The only way I could see this without it being a feature presentation on a Titantron in front of, again, 5 people, 25,000 live people. They're trying, I feel like, to redeem what happened back at WrestleMania 33 with the whole projections and the outcome where I still feel like to this day, the wrong person won. Randy Orton even said he just wants to
Let's be real. That match shouldn't have happened. It should have been Luke Harper, Orton, and Wyatt.
Trust me, I'm well aware, but you can't change the past, but you can definitely write a better future, I would think. And again, Orton wants to just work with Bray. The Fiend is still that man, Bray Wyatt, who can freaking wrestle. And I feel like that's a death note people have forgotten about, even with this Fiend character who's taken on Daniel Bryan, for example, in classes to the point they made a strap match relevant. With that being said, I just wonder at this point, how do we end this to the point where you don't see Orton for a while? He does change when he comes back, maybe like what you said, but you also push the Fiend forward. And how does the Fiend move forward? Who does he go after next? Does Bliss lead that? So
I got an idea. Bray Wyatt, we don't see it because that old fiction tale, if we don't see the body, therefore they're possibly still alive, because that's a thing.
True.
What if they fight all around through the arena? After the match, Bray Wyatt drags Orton up to the stage, sets something on fire, and pushes him through it like it's the fiery pits of hell, like Shane McMahon and Kane back in 2003.
Yeah, when he dropped him into that dumpster and said, "Burn in hell, you son of a bitch." But of course, Kane was perfectly fine because he's probably off to the side, duh. But yeah, there has to be some sort of big angle where I feel like Randy Orton just poof disappears, but I just don't know what. Now let's go ahead and bring some other creative influences in here because I feel like you gave a lot of an idea towards how this should end. Because in my opinion, WrestleMania should end.
Rumor has it that's not the end, sadly.
I know, but again, I can dream, can't I?
No,
you're
Vince
first.
says your dreams die.
Well, sweet dreams are made of these. Who had the mind to disagree? King, your thoughts on this match? What the hell do you hope to see?
I'm gonna be real honest here, guys. I am not looking forward to this. My interest level has went.
Jeez.
Honestly, let's be real. I'm pretty sure Noah and Queen's fight today was already better than this match.
Yes, it is.
Way better. Yep.
I can't wait to see how bad the audio is in that in the final recording.
Oh, I gotta see that. I gotta see the replay.
It's gonna be.
We should charge people for you to the fight.
It's gonna be gibberish. It's gonna be gibberish and a bunch of laughter. I can tell already. It's gonna kill people's ears. Warning to folks that actually made it this far. Sorry, headphone users. Oh, so sorry. With that being said, King, I get what you're saying, but again, Bray Wyatt, he deserves this if nothing else because he has put in the work towards all of this. Maybe it's not the direction he fully wanted to go in with this because again, it's influence. But I do hope he does finally get the big time in front of a crowd WrestleMania moment. So just think about Bray. What do you want for Bray in the end here?
Let's see. For Bray, just squash this with Orton. Do like some dramatic ending, something like send them down through the ring and have the ring the ring explode on fire. Something.
The ring explode.
Squash this and let Bray move on from this because to be honest, like ever since he's been back, I mean, I still think of that redundant day that basically killed any future hopes that I like, anything I have for him. And y'all know the redundant date I'm talking about. That's why I'm not even going to mention it.
Please don't, because it ripped my mouth apart one day I had a dental surgery.
Exactly. That's why I'm not even going to mention that
my
day.
birthday.
Yep. So that's the reason why, anything that has to do with him at this point, I feel like it's going to take a long steps to be back to that same Fiend he once was before a certain, botch himself had to ruin it.
Right. Like he almost kills the Undertaker, he's rewarded for it. That makes sense.
Yeah,
exactly.
Money, creative, politics. But yeah, again, it seems like bottom line, Randy Orton needs to be dramatically written off. Can't see anything further to add before we go to Megan.
All right. Fiend versus Randy Orton match here. My interest level, like King said, my level right now is my mode is I'm in an I don't give a damn mode about this match.
That's sad when you figure out who's involved in it. Because again, it's the way they booked it into oblivion.
Right. And I picked the Fiend over Randy Orton here because it's very obvious the Fiend is going to win right here because how many times are you going to do Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt? I mean, we've seen it happen back at Mania 33. I mean, once back in Mania 33 in House of Horrors match. I mean, come the hell on. I mean, how many times you're going to have Randy Orton burn the thing? I mean, what else is Randy Orton going to do? Punt him right in the damn skull. Punt him right in the damn skull like he did Shawn Michaels, Christian, Edge, and the rest of the others. I mean, Harris. Come on now. I mean, yeah. I mean, and Bray, and Bray all of a sudden comes back years late. Like changes to Husky Harris in the middle of the match, and then Orton gets freaked out and all this. And but I see the Fiend. I see the Fiend winning here over Randy Orton because Randy Orton needs to be written off television where he can have time off. I mean, Orton desperately needs time off because he's been booked in the same bullshit constantly going on because where it's starting to become boring now. I mean, just get this damn feud over with so we don't have to look at it anymore because people don't give a shit right now because their interest level is at 0.
It comes down to if you believe in the supernatural, how long can you follow it? It's not like the series from the CW. That being said, Megan, 2 of the most consistent workers of the pandemic era. They really feel like a never-ending story. I feel it has to end at WrestleMania, but how do you write an ending that basically brings everybody a sense of bravo or satisfaction for both these two on the grandest stage of them all?
Listen, I'm not a writer. I really don't know how they're going to end it. It does have to end though. There's loads of different ways it can go down. I'm not sure how personally I would do it. I know it does have to end now. I'm looking forward to this match. I think that whether your entry excitement, like wherever that is between 1 to 10, whether you're really hyped, whether you're not, the match itself, I think everyone knows it will be good. There'll be some kind of WrestleMania moment of some crazy dramatics. They're both really good wrestlers. I think the match itself will be good, and we won't be, especially if your expectations are already low, guys. It can't get any worse than this. You know it's going to be a step up for whatever you're already.
Look, I can just say this.
Yeah.
If Logan Paul gets involved in Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, then that will be the worst match of the night for me.
Yeah,
I agree.
Amen. Same here.
Yeah.
But I think Randy Orton, the Thing, is going to be an okay match. I mean, it ain't going to be that boring, and I think they're going to do a lot of interesting stuff, and they're going to play up to the Bray's character in this match to perfection.
I just thought of something. I'm taking your quote, Eric. Wasn't Ciampa the one that says Randy Orton matches help him sleep?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Just
You did say that.
Watch the audience. Just saying.
They're going to be right just in the boredom and to boredom.
It's going to be intriguing from a psychology standpoint, not only as a fan, but as a spectator, whether you're live or watching.
Also to the cutouts.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
cardboard cutouts in the crowd.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Wait, they're really doing that?
Yeah,
Yes,
really
they are.
They
Yes,
are
they
because
are.
we don't want to be real.
Yep. They
But you-
want to,
Yes,
give
they
it that
are.
synthetic
They're
look.
copying.
But you
They're
have to pay.
copying.
The Super Bowl.
Copying the Super Bowl game between
you have-
the Buccaneers and the Chiefs.
Remember they tried to CGI a crowd?
That was horrible.
That was very horrible.
That's a bit
God!
weird.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, imagine sitting next to a fake person. That's not cardboard.
Yeah,
That's a bit weird.
that's a little, little
I would
I'd
weird.
rather the crowd looked half empty than filled with cardboard cutouts. But you do you anyway.
I mean, it's WWE. They're gonna be them, okay? They're gonna do what they feel is best because in Vince's eyes, it's his quote. Anyway,
It's his
Megan,
company.
that too. It's an audience. It's for an audience of one at the end of the day, every day, folks. Always remember that. Megan, like I said, I feel this is gonna be okay because I respect both men's work ethics, but you gotta give some sort of end that really makes the people go, wow. Especially with a WrestleMania that, let's be honest, overall, folks, it's got people. It's gonna be a welcome back for us as fans, especially watching to see that organic type feel again. But it still has been one of the most weirdly, quickly out of nowhere, botchy built,
There's two
overloaded
things.
manias in a while. So
There's two
Megan, back-
things that I think that's screwed them a little bit. One, obviously, the live crowd. It's going to be they've booked this storyline and they've booked everything surrounding the Fiend in the past year on the basis that they can include CGI, they can include different camera cuts, that no one is watching what's going on, and there's a lot of things that they could do. Now there's a crowd, they can't do those things, which is going to be very difficult. And I have a lot of respect to the whole team that is going to put this match together because it is going to be hard. It's not they. I don't know whether they knew this was going to happen and they're prepared, or whether they were just taking one day at a time, which a lot of people have been doing the past year, and didn't really prepare for, there's going to be a crowd and they can't do all this crazy stuff now. And the second thing is that the match is not last. The match not being the main event means, King, the ring can't explode and light on fire because there's another match. But things like that is another thing that is going to put them in a difficult position, because they can't completely destroy everything or set things on fire, because there is a match. Well, we don't know when that match will be. I'm assuming it will be before the last one, but there will be a match or more matches after. So you can't destroy everything, which puts them in two very, very difficult situations. So I think if we do have a good-ish ending, I'll be very respectful of the amount of hard work that they're going to have to put in to even just make this match. So sorry to the
Here's the thing. The only way I think they can make this match of high quality is if they had it in them to say, okay, look, you've been trying to kill each other. You have had multiple attempts of murder, emulsion attempts. We can't sanction this match.
There you go.
But they didn't do that because Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole.
Right. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole basically did that, and they were the closer, and Wrestling Observer even gave it a fair 4.25 stars. And even then, again, people will always see the Wrestling Observer as WWE biased, but that's a whole nother story for another day.
Yeah, and so let's talk about the main event.
But unless they make it a full count anywhere, and it somehow manages to make it backstage, which means the backstage part will be on a screen, and then they can do something crazy like that, because that bit can be like pre-recorded or something, and they can do stuff there if it ends up going where the crowd can't see what's going on. That's the only way I could think that they can make it work.
Well, in my opinion, this WrestleMania, I feel they're going to try and make everything be in front of the crowd, especially with everything we've done, said, ranted, broke down tonight. I just have to say it all fails in comparison towards what this triple threat has become to show us. This is your WrestleMania grand finale main event. The head of the table, Roman Reigns, will defend his Universal Championship against this year's Royal Rumble winner, who literally 9 years waiting and 10 years to the day, the rated R superstar Edge will challenge him, and the guy that feels like he's truly all or nothing here deserves this spot and will go that distance to get what he believes is his and is so excited, Daniel Bryan. Guys, this match truly is one of the most unpredictable matches I can think of in main event WrestleMania history that could go any man's way, and I don't see a downside to any result here. He doesn't have to be involved in the pinfall. Every one of them have pontificated points and character developments to prove why they deserve it and deserve to be in it. Now, I know we all are antsy to talk about this, but again, main event, just like before, I always like to do it in a particular order. You know who's first, and I'm not saying anymore. Casey, who leads WrestleMania? The Universal Champion.
All right. Who I think leaves WrestleMania as the Universal Champion is Edge, because number one, never, ever underestimate the rated R superstar, because Edge knows this business from the inside out. And that's why he's called the ultimate opportunist for a reason, because he could always strike out of nowhere. And I watched Edge since I was a kid, and he was literally he's a great wrestler all around, because when you get down to it, I would never, ever underestimate Edge. And some people think, are counting out Edge, just because he's old and all this. But just like I say, never count the old man out. And Edge, that old man could always come up with new tricks up his sleeve. And Edge, I see Edge taking the Universal title here, but I say he ends up spearing Daniel Bryan if Daniel Bryan hits Roman Reigns with the knee. And then I see Edge tossing Roman Reigns out of the ring, and Reigns is like knocked out from Bryan's knee. And then Edge is going to pin Daniel Bryan 1, 2, 3 to become the new Universal Champion. So therefore, that protects Roman Reigns from taking a pinfall to Edge, because Roman, I mean, that will ruin everything he worked hard for if he eats a pinfall by Edge here. So I say Daniel Bryan is the fall guy if Edge wins the Universal title. And I say Roman Reigns will be knocked out of the ring to protect him from taking a pinfall loss. And that's how I see it going down.
That's a hell of a way to play out this match that I guarantee will be the longest match in the entire WrestleMania weekend. And we are going to be on the edge of our seats with what we're going to see. Holy hell.
Oh, God, yeah.
Eric,
got that right.
You're next. Break it down and give us your potential results.
Let's be real. This match is more important to Roman, to Bryan, and Edge, because this is the story about survivors. Two were told you can never wrestle again. One was told you could possibly never wrestle again or die from cancer. They all survived, and now they get to have their own spotlight together, the Survivors WrestleMania moment. And here's the thing. I have been advocating that Roman Reigns has rightfully earned, if they keep this high quality going, he's earned a right to have a 2-year run with the belt, because we need to start investing in new guys. Edge has had his time as the world champion, and as much as I understand him probably winning the belt, it also feels like, okay, Edge has been around throughout this whole time. Throughout the road to WrestleMania, he's been the champ. He's been full-time. But we're talking about what happens after. Does he still wrestle full-time after, or show up every time? Or does he pull a Brock Lesnar and disappear for a while? That's the uncertainty around that. However, I feel Roman has, and Daniel Bryan's at his end game here, and he's there to take the fall. He really should have won at the Royal Rumble, so this could be less complicated. But I feel like Roman has earned that chance to run like Okada did with the title and go at it for 2 years. And like I said, we imagine it. He goes and runs with the title for 2 years. He beats The Rock at WrestleMania 39. And then at SummerSlam, he drops the belt to an up-and-coming talent or a rising new megastar like in Big E. Imagine how much of a star someone makes beating Roman Reigns after a 2-year Okada-length run. And I generally... What?
Or Walter length.
Yeah, but like I keep going with Okada's because his was 700 days.
Yeah.
But
consistently. Continue.
But yeah, but Roman has said he can't imagine his career continuing without Paul Heyman at his side. So clearly he's a Paul Heyman guy for life. At least until Brock Lesnar comes back and says, I'm the Paul Heyman guy. And no, I'm the Paul Heyman guy. And then they fight over who's the best Paul Heyman guy, probably. And then so I feel like Roman, okay, this is what I actually think. Roman is going to do the inverse ending to WrestleMania 31. He does what Seth Rollins did. He takes out Edge, he pins Bryan, runs him off with a title, and just does Seth Rollins' ultimate opportunist, just like mocking Edge, saying he's now the new ultimate opportunist.
I like that.
You got a good point. That's a good point right there. Very good point.
Brings that spear,
especially
it also shows Roman being better than Edge as he participated in a hell of a closing promo this SmackDown. As we saw, he says, this match is about dreamers. Well, I'm here to bring you back to reality. Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, and then I realized, and then I remembered. Roman has been copying certain antics of Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, where Brock Lesnar kept screaming all night long, and then Roman starts doing it.
Yep.
Paul
Heyman brings up family, Roman starts bringing up family to Kevin Owens. And now I'm thinking, oh, imagine if he just went ahead and just did stuff like Brock Lesnar in this match and starts screaming something with City in it.
There you go. And then he starts pulling off suplexes, or maybe just does spear, calls it Spear City, bitch. There's so many different ways I see this going. Again, I'm salivating. Gang,
Yes.
in there.
So yeah, I genuinely think Roman has the shot at winning this. And then we can move forward and dream what's going to happen at the next WrestleMania. And hopefully at WrestleMania 39, he fights The Rock and dethrones him as the tribal chief. And then he drops the belt at SummerSlam to Big E or some other up-and-coming star and makes them the next mega star in wrestling.
I keep saying it. Short-term feuds to come. I feel like our big answers are, but we can talk about that after WrestleMania concludes. I'm sure I have some brief thoughts. King, you've been sitting there, you've been waiting, you've been anticipating this match discussion all night long. We saw all three men give us their own promos. In my opinion, though, Edge, promo of the entire bill tonight. Your thoughts on this match? What do you expect?
When I've been hearing Edge's promo for the past few weeks, I saw passion. I saw heart. It reminded me of the rated R superstar himself. When I hear those promos that I've been hearing for these past few weeks, when I say that, it's because of the fact that's the Edge I'm used to. The same Edge that invaded John Cena's home in West Newbury, Massachusetts, and invaded his house with his dad in the house in their Raw rivalry in 2007 that led up to Unforgiving and that TLC classic main event in Toronto.
Right. It was 2006, by the way, botched, but continue. One of my favorite pay-per-views, by the way. Continue.
And then I'm just like, that's the Edge we should have had all along. Not the babyface that led into this moment. That should have been the Edge that we had from the get-go. And then you look at Roman. He even said it tonight. He's been carrying SmackDown on his back for the past 30 weeks plus.
And then you got, sorry, King, but you also got to remember, he also had to carry WWE whenever they did stupid stuff before SmackDown. Third-party bands, everyone?
Roman has been on the hottest momentum ever since SummerSlam that night happened. We have all wanted it for the past 5 years. And that's for Roman to turn heel. We got that. Imagine if we didn't have the Thunderdome. Can you guys imagine Roman still being a babyface without this white hot momentum he's been on? Think about that. Think about that. Without this heel turn, I think Roman will still be a babyface if we still had crowds to this day. And then you look at Daniel Bryan. We're right back at WrestleMania 30 all over again, which I didn't mind, and I don't mind it now. But this is where I feel like, Eric, you touched on it. But Roman has earned that Okada reign. He has earned it for the way he's been carrying WWE on his back. If I have to boil it down to it, and this is where I'm so conflicted between all three guys, because these three have been always, and I mean always, on their A game. Edge, and even at Edge, who has came back from triple fusion neck surgery. Triple fusion, and he said it himself. He's the first person in sports and in sports entertainment to ever come back from triple fusion neck surgery. If I have to boil it down to it, Roman is going to retain. Daniel will take the pinfall. And where does that leave Edge in all of this? Are we still going to see more of Edge full-time or part-time? Or is that just basically the end of Edge right there? And in closing, either way, this main event is going to still night two. Either way we look at it. This is going to be one roller coaster of a ride. We better strap in and get ready for this ride because I got Roman retaining. End of story.
Believe that. Megan, again, Edge, he came back as the sympathetic welcome, and he's finally channeling in his ultimate opportunist. Daniel Bryan showing says the new Daniel Bryan, channeling back the energy, though, that he garnered back at WrestleMania 30. And Roman Reigns, he is truly on a whole nother level ever since becoming the head of the table with Paul Heyman at his side in his methodical, slow delivery and promo, and the way he tells a story in the ring, much more vocally than physically, with a much more slower pace. That being said, both these men, they both have gotten the best of this guy. Daniel Bryan forcing the tap out, Edge spearing the hell out of him. Edge this close to concertoing both his opposition. Will we see a concerto? Will we see a spear frenzy? Will we see Roman tap out? Will Roman persevere? And will Roman pin either Daniel Bryan or Edge? There's so many different ways this can go. And will this literally be more so Edge, Daniel Bryan finding each other while Roman maybe is on the outside waiting after being incapacitated? Who truly is at each other's throats in this match? Where's the biggest rivalry? Who's got the bigger heart? Who's got the bigger drive? Who truly wants this the most? That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Not just for a title, but the win and the moment in the main event, the closer, I might add, of WrestleMania. Your thoughts on this match?
I think I agree with the majority of you guys. I think I got Roman Reigns winning as well. But everyone, as always, whether you guys mean to or not, everyone is counting out Daniel Bryan here. And that's a big mistake, guys. Everyone is doing it. Everyone is saying Bryan's going to take the pin. Bryan's just there to take the... Guys, it's Daniel freaking Bryan. If he pulls off this win, I'll not be surprised. I will be repping my Daniel Bryan shirt more than likely because I would love him to win. I could never say no to a Daniel Bryan title reign. I do see Roman Reigns carrying on though. His momentum is too high for this to end. But I think no matter who wins, the next feud will be whoever wasn't pinned. So if Roman Reigns pins Daniel Bryan, then I think Roman and Edge will have their one-on-one. If Edge is the one that's pinned, then Bryan and Reigns will have their one-on-one, or whatever combination it works out in. You know, the classic, I wasn't the one that was pinned, I deserve a rematch. That boring thing will probably happen next. Again, it will definitely be match of the night. Probably match of the weekend. I don't know if we could say match of the week because NXT really did set high standards. No matter which way it goes, it will be great. But out of all three, the one I can't see winning as much is Edge, because there's so many things he said he wanted to do, so many people he said he wanted to face. I don't think that he's gonna be completely full-time enough to hold the title and carry forward the amazing work that Reigns has done. I don't think it's time for SmackDown to be led by anyone other than Roman Reigns. Whether you look at the title or not, Roman Reigns is the leader of SmackDown right now. And that's the best. It's best for business to have Roman Reigns continue to lead SmackDown into the future. Yeah.
Fair point. Fair point. And I do like the fact you do still impose the idea of the guy not involved in the fall, still involved towards the title picture. Again, Edge, who truly feels like he was the one that really was screwed here the most because he's not getting this legitimate one-on-one when he wanted the Royal Rumble. And as you said, come back with triple fusion neck surgery. Songo's Shakur from NoDQ just brought an interesting point. I was looking at my phone. He literally said this will be the first time that a Hall of Famer post Hall of Fame induction will be main eventing WrestleMania for a title. Edge has everything going, it seems, on his side, channeling his ultimate opportunist, literally the drive, the motivation. People say the history is there, and it's like all the dates align. So again, I can see why people do favor Edge. That being said, Daniel Bryan, again, one of the most consistent workers that we've come to know and love in the WWE, who truly loves wrestling. I could definitely see him maybe pulling out ultimate opportunity, coming in here with a flash knee strike. And then, of course, you have Roman, who wants to break both these men's dreams, prove he's the opportunist. We might literally be one spear away from having him hold this title. There are so many different ways we can see this play out. This is almost like butterfly effect when you think about the different tree branches towards how this match progresses, who's involved in the end. All three, only two men. Someone just dragged from the outside back into the ring. Will the ref go down? Will Jay Uso be involved here? Because there's nobody on Daniel Bryan or Edge's behalf that can get involved here. It's as simple as that, as far as that circumstance goes. There are so many different ways to look at how this match plays out. But in the end, I have to agree with the majority. I believe Roman Reigns will give us the ultimate pyro explosion, holding that belt above his head. Believe that. Eric, third or thoughts?
Thinking of that, this has got posted about 10 minutes ago. They just revealed the set.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, yeah.
On pirate ship and everything.
Yeah, and they just fired
Pirate
off the
ship is like-
cannons and pyro.
Okay, so they did a test basically. Well, that's gonna look so nice. And to think, again, WrestleMania, 1 hour.
That's going to look fantastic.
1 hour kickoff, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it all kicks off. And literally, folks, happy WrestleMania Day. We're in Saturday. It's 12:50 a.m. here on the East Standard Coast. We literally have gone on longer than ever. And again, I apologize, folks, on that rant. This is nothing professional. This is not monetary. This is just 5, 6 friends coming together, talking, discussing, analyzing, predicting, fantasy booking, appreciating, and enjoying wrestling. We hope you enjoyed the ride too. Before I close this out, is there anybody with any last thoughts regarding this match or WrestleMania or anything we discussed?
Here's the
Nope.
thing. The reason
Justice
why
for Bailey.
Yeah, that's it.
Justice for Bailey,
I do
too.
agree with that.
Justice for
Justice
Bailey.
for Bailey.
Hashtag justice for Bailey. But I
Justice
did
for
want to
Bailey.
say this about why I say Brian's not going to win. He has already publicly said that this is his last run as a full-time guy. So I can see him ending his full-time run at WrestleMania, then disappearing for a while, maybe doing a 90-day return, then disappearing for 90 days and doing a part-time run.
Right, because he
There
wants
you
to
go.
focus more on being a father. And we've
And
already
I-
seen
and-
Edge.
and it- yeah, and I do think if they do this, I think between SummerSlam and whatever pay-per-view happens between the two, before SummerSlam, I think we're going to see Edge and Bryan one more time, 60-minute Iron Man match
Ooh.
to determine who fights Roman at SummerSlam.
That would be insane. Imagine Roman Reigns saying that up. You want to really go against me? Then prove it to me. Test
That would be a
yourself.
classic.
And Roman
That
just
would be a
walks
classic.
on from the locker room. We have yet to
That'd
see
be
a
an
good
instant
Iron Man
classic.
in WWE in a long damn time. You might have just said,
Oh,
bottom
damn
line,
right.
I feel like
Let's
two
give me the
singles are
book.
ahead of us.
Let's let me write the show.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah,
Two
I hear
singles
you.
are ahead of
You
us.
do a good
after-
job.
Two singles are ahead of us after WrestleMania. Edge and Daniel Bryan, and Edge and Roman. Regardless in result of however the triple threat goes, I guarantee those two singles are coming. We've seen Edge on SmackDown. He can still go. And the whole point of this, Edge wants to end this on his own terms. It doesn't mean he necessarily have to end it as champion, though I'm sure that's probably on his mind. But truly right now, this is the pinnacle, no pun intended, of Edge's career and the most important match probably in all three of these men's career. And I cannot wait to see this freaking match, let alone if Edge also has Metalingus live perform his song as it was supposed to be at WrestleMania 36, that would be freaking incredible. Bottom line is this. This is the reason why we are together here. This is why we're ATW. And this is the reason why we cannot wait to watch WrestleMania. And I do hope you all take a chance on it and enjoy it too. With that being said, we have literally gone into extended overtime for everything.
Jesus
show could
Christ.
conclude.
Yes, we did.
And we can only hope that that big gold belt will one day return too. I'd like to thank you all for tuning
Yeah,
in to the
same.
latest episode of the ATW View. For the ATW crew, on behalf of the Enforcer Lex doing its own thing, for the Preacher, the King, the Rider, the Inquisitor, I am your simple head of ceremonies, your host, and your apparently great debater. My name is Noah Foster. Until the next ATW View, episode 4, where we talk about what is ATW. I hope you all enjoy WrestleMania. Take care. Enjoy life. Tomorrow's their guarantee. Treasure your families. Enjoy life and enjoy wrestling. This has been the ATW View, episode 3. Appreciate you all. Enjoy WrestleMania and have a wonderful day. Till next time. Bye-bye. My God. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge. Steal the show. believe that.
Oh, they will. They definitely will.
Enough said. And Reginald, go jump into Nia's hole.